Perfect.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl.
Yeah. You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Thought we got a lot done in a short period of time. Overall, I'm pleased with the conditioning level of these guys for the most part. And we'll look at the film and seems like we've been going here for a while. Today, obviously, changed with the pads, and from a period standpoint, we worked on a few different things. But overall, I was pleased.
Hey, Sean, what's this new normal like for you? Instead of us walking to the podium, you're here on the Zoom, and just what's all this sort of been like for you?
Yeah, you just get used to it. Coming to work every morning involves, getting an email, filling out your email, coming into the mobile unit, getting COVID tested, picking up your tracer. There's a handful of things, and so this is no different. I felt like we walked halfway through the facility to get to this interview room, so this might change, but anyway, all good.
Sean, we haven't had a chance to see a whole lot of Emmanuel Sanders, but how has he been adapting to what you guys have been teaching and wanting from him so far?
And I think slowly but surely he's picking up the terminology and some of the nuances relative to what he's doing.
So what will be your plan with McCoy and Ruiz? Will they take turns every other day, every other week, or are you going to?
Yeah, look, we're evaluating both of them. They're both, getting plenty of work. McCoy's getting work at center, Ruiz at right guard, and then, probably every second or third day, we'll evaluate flipping them around. So we're rotating those guys along with Nick Easton inside. We feel like, obviously, all those reps are important, and I think overall, he's a pretty quick study.
Hey, Sean, are Josh Hill and Pete dealing with injuries today, or is that just an excuse absence?
Yeah, look, every day we've got a few things. Josh Hill's someone that, heading into camp, just had a tweak. We've been real mindful of where he's at. He's close to being back out on the field. So, I'm not going to go through daily injuries. You guys know that, especially during training camp.
Sean, what do you like about P.J. Williams, his range and ability to play middle of the field and that?
Well, I like the fact that he's smart. He's got good ball skills. He had a caused fumble today and an interception today. So he's one of those players that I think has good football IQ. So it's good to give him some additional work. He also is taking snaps at playing in the nickel, and so he's got some versatility.
Sean, understanding that it's very early in the process here, but what's kind of something that excites you about this offense in particular, this group of personnel that you have?
Yeah, look, we've got some veteran players that have been in the system. We've got some new additions. We're still working through some of the personnel groupings and wordplay guys, but overall, of course, it starts with the experience Drew has and coming back. I think it is very early.
Sean, I was curious about Jawan Johnson, who looks almost more like Jared Cook than some of the receivers. I know this always gets asked with bigger receivers, but what qualities kind of makes them more suited to wide receiver than maybe moving to tight end?
Look, that's a good question. I think, there are a few things that we saw. We saw a guy that we think moves and carries his pads well. He's a guy we think can help in the kicking game. And, if he's struggling out there at receiver, it's something that we've discussed that, I think he has that frame where he could come inside, but we like what we've seen so far with him outside.
Sean, with some of the college football seasons being canceled and stuff like that, do you ever consider reaching out to some of those coaches for consultation or something like that?
Look, we've got enough going on here. We pay attention to it much like you guys do, but outside of that, occasionally there'll be someone that I'm familiar with that I might have a conversation with about what they're going through. But, we've got enough challenges just in the building here.
Sean, is having Gillikin here, is that at all about managing Thomas's reps, or is it, getting a look at an additional punter because of the season? Or?
Yeah, look, he's done well. Obviously, he can give us kickoff snaps. He can give us punt snaps, and I think it just does two things. Number one, we're evaluating a good young player. Number two, it helps relative to the rotation when either Thomas or Will are taking a day where they're not going live with their leg.
How much has Zach Vaughn been able to absorb quickly? Looks like he got some valuable work today.
Look, I think he stepped in and had a good practice today. I think obviously there's a learning curve, but I think he's handled it so far pretty cleanly.
John, I know you guys already had a pretty significant ramp-up period, but even with the pads on for the first day today, is there still a ramp-up period that exists now where it's not really full contact for a little bit from a soft tissue and ligament standpoint, or is it full go?
Look, I think we've used up all our ramp-up terms in the word ramp-up. So we've ramped up plenty, and we're now there. There's no more ramp-ups. You only get so many ramp-ups, right?
Coach, can you speak about what you've seen of Tommy Stevens and his willingness to pick up other positions?
Yeah, look, he's working at the Y position. We're playing him some at the F position. He's athletic. He's young. He's got a lot to learn, but he's putting forth the energy and the study time to do it.
Sean, does going with 80, is that a significant difference in just your rotations and how many groups of players you have?
I think it affects you. No, we've done it before. I don't think it's that significant. Obviously, when you're into preseason games, it can affect you a little bit more. Right now, we're a little bit more in a preseason mode, much like you would be in college, getting ready to play a month from now.
Sean, I know this is a weekly question, but what's your evaluation of Jameis Winston after getting to see him throw and run some plays for a couple weeks now?
Look, he's doing well. I've been pleased. He's in great shape. He's got a real live arm. Man, I love his attitude, his work ethic. He's doing very well.
That's Coach Payton, family. Good to see y'all in the chat. Who that to the Black and Gold family members in the building? Who that to you? Once again, it's on, family. They got the pads on. They operate, moving around. There's film out. Got a lot to cover today. Once again, thank y'all for joining me on the Sports Coma today. Who that to the Black and Gold family, the Black and Gold faithful, the great Saint Tank. Who that to the Black and Gold beautiful, baby. Good to see you in the live stream. Who that to you? And as I always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. And we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. If you don't know, this is the great Saint Tank, known as the Sports Coma, where we keep it real in the field about football, especially black and gold topics, baby. Big ups to GM Kev and the rest of the family members joining in the live stream. Torrey Shepard Sr., who that to you? Jasper Bowden, who that to you? Derek, who that to you? Good to see you in there as well, fam. Tro Blewett, who that to you? JT, who that to you? And let's see, Jerry, Mr. Jerry, who that to you? How you doing, my man? Appreciate you joining us. Jeremiah, who that to you, fam? He says, who that to you, bro, on this Monday? May God bless you and keep on doing. Thank you, brother. Appreciate those sentiments. And I send them right back at you, bro. Appreciate those great sentiments. And God bless you too, fam. Appreciate you. All right, and the rest of the family members, Dallas Allen, who that to you? Crass, who that to you? Good to see you, family. Hope everything well out there. Let's see who else we got. Ken Rasa Bloodstone, who that to your family? Good to see you in the chat as well. Who else? Let's see. Teal, my dog Teal in the building. Who that to you, Teal? Good to see your family as well. Revolt Control, what up? Bam. He says, what? Do you have another P.J. Williams on this team? P.J. did all right today, man. He got burnt by Traquan Smith, but he shows something, then shows some other stuff. But he played well in practice today, man. Got to give P.J. some credit this time. You heard old Coach Payton call him, said P.J. had high football IQ. You heard what he said? Oh, man. It's all gravy, man. Depends on what PJ you get. If you got a focused PJ Williams, yeah. But the guy we talking about is not always focused. He's notorious for being non-focused. He played well today. Hopefully he can maintain that level of intensity, bro, for real, man. For real, because this is the last year on you, bro. For real. Jerome, who that to you, Jerome? Good to see you, family, in the chat as well. Rush Hour, we'll say that, Rush Hour, who that to you as well, family. And thank all the beautiful Black and Gold School and the rest of the family members for chiming out. He says, anyone know why Pete wasn't at practice today? Coach Payton he didn't want to touch too much on. He talked about Josh Hill. That'll probably be revealed a little later on, Crass, about Andrews Pete. But we're going to cover some of the happenings at camp as well. I have several other interviews to play. That was the post-Payton practice interview that Payton just did not too long ago. As you heard, breaking down his thoughts on camp as well. So, we're going to go into the rest of the show, but also we're going to talk about that. I'm going to show some footage and stuff today later on after we get to the interviews about camp, pictures. We're going to go over it as such and the rest. So I got another interview chimed up. It's Drew Brees coming up, the quarterback of the Saints. The future first ballot Hall of Fame is chimed up next. And after Drew, we got two other guys. We're going to give some a brand new linebacker, recently signed linebacker, Nigel Bradham, the first time he debuts on the Sports Coma. We have an interview by him. We'll play a few minutes of his interview. And we also have Cam, the man Jordan, chiming in as well, looking like the vampire from Brooklyn. So we'll play some of that today, and we'll get into some of the stories. We'll mix it up a little bit. Any questions, concerns, and comments, please place them in the chat. I'll get to them. And as well, who that to the family members who didn't say anything in the chat. If you're on the chat and you didn't say something, who that to me, and I give you a who that back. So I appreciate all the family members for joining us on this one. So we're gonna move into the next interview, and who we got chimed up for your next upcoming is Mr. Drew Brees. He talks about training camp. Here's Drew.
Drew Brees here. If you have a question for Drew, just go ahead and type in the chat, and I'll call on you in order.
Good.
Okay, first question is from Luke Johnson. Luke?
Hey Drew, before we get into opening up camp, I was just curious what your thoughts were on Alex Smith being cleared to return to football.
Yeah, man, I was really excited for him. I've known Alex a long time, and ever since his rookie year, second year in the league, we actually trained together in San Diego. He's a San Diego kid, went to Helix High School, was friends with Reggie, so we all trained together for a bit way back then, 15, 16 years ago. So obviously such a tragic injury, and what he's had to endure since then, just to be able to get back on the field again and play the game he loves, and he's had to overcome so much. So him and his family have been in my prayers. I've been in touch with him a little bit during that time. Actually, when I heard the news yesterday, I shot him a text just to tell him how happy and excited I was for him, and he responded back. So I'm sure he's really excited, really relieved to be able to get back out there again.
Next question is from Rod Walker. Rod?
Hey, Drew, what's this just new normal been like for you as far as just all the protocols and doing this press conference on Zoom and all that?
Yeah. I mean, it's different, obviously. We're used to training camp, having fans out there, creating a little bit of an atmosphere, spending time with them after practice, seeing you guys out there as well, and in the locker room too. So all this is a bit different. We're taking it as it comes. Obviously, the rules are such that we had this ramp-up period, so it's not like we jumped right into practice. But you know what? I thought it was a good opportunity for us to, take what is this year's team, right, with the addition of the rookies and the free agents, and spend a lot of time together, just doing a lot of fundamental things, that otherwise you would just jump right into pads and you would get going. This has given us an opportunity to focus on some of the details, watch a little bit more film, and so we've tried to make the most of it.
Is it a relief just to even be out there, considering everything was such in question not too long ago?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I think we've all been pretty confident that we were going to play. We just didn't know under what circumstances or parameters or protocols. And listen, we show up at the facility every morning and take a COVID test, and we're trying to display a lot of personal responsibility with wearing masks and that kind of sort of thing around the facility. We've all got these tracers on our wrists that track kind of where you are and who you're in contact with and all that stuff. I think whether you're staying at home or staying in the hotel, guys are just exhibiting a lot of personal responsibility there as well. I think we've handled it all very well. I think that our organization has obviously worked very hard, from Bo Lowry in the training room to Coach Payton to Mickey to just the entire staff. Just in the way that we're trying to make this as safe of an environment as possible, so we can all do our jobs.
Next question from Mike Triplett. Mike?
I have two for you, Drew. First of all, am I wrong that this is a new look for you? I know you shaved your head for charity earlier this offseason. Is this a summer cut, or is this inspired by anything?
Well, it's a little bit of both. It makes me feel younger, especially when I'm losing hair up top. I might as well just cut it off. But when it's 1,000 degrees outside too, it cools things off a bit.
And then I wanted to ask you your impressions of Jameis Winston, actually seeing him on the field and going through drills with him for a couple weeks now.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Jameis. He loves football. He loves the game. He loves to compete. Great personality. Very likable guy. Wants to learn. So, man, all those things are the first components that you kind of see and recognize. Obviously, we're just getting into pads, and so we're just getting into real life situations, that we're trying to create, in practice. And so, the reps have been somewhat limited for all of us up to this point. But as that ramps up, I really like our quarterback room. I almost said Tamus. Me, Taysom, and Jameis. I think that's, we all work well together.
That's Drew Brees, family, chiming in on his thoughts on camp and what Drew seen was going on. Everybody's high on Jameis. I remember watching the footage of him. The 25 to 30 pounds he lost. He looks good throwing the ball. Payton, among several reporters, are reporting that that Jameis is one of the most energetic people out there on the field of play. So it's good to see Jameis really showing, man, really stepping up and showing that intensity. Of course, he felt he was underpaid. I thought he was giving the Saints a discount, $1.1 million. Fired his agent a whole month or so later, but nevertheless, at the end of the day, this is going to be a good investment for Jameis. I mean, he's in the best, some say the best football shape of his career, in NFL career. And he'll have the tutelage of Drew Brees. He'll have Sean Payton there as well. And Sean really is impressed with him. A lot of the reporters are saying that he has a he has a live arm or whatnot. We know that about Jameis. We know that Jameis was kind of a slouch in the later years in Tampa. Really didn't have something pushing him like the Saints are pushing him. Learning behind guys like Drew Brees will help you exponentially. Just ask Teddy Bridgewater, man, what it could do for him. So I'm expecting the same type of transformation from Jameis Winston, and it appears, man, that he's super serious. So that's big as well. Who that to the Black and Gold family members chiming in the live stream as well. Mark Dykes, good to see you in the chat, family. Big ups to you. Crash says, fingers crossed that we stay overall healthy for 2020. I see Gerald McCoy and Jalen Hurd both appear to have suffered season-ending injuries. That is true, Crash. Thank you for that, bro. As well, to say that, and we have a ticker on our 24/7 Saints HQ. We have that information on the ticker as well. Also, wide receivers A.J. Green from Cincinnati and DeAndre Hopkins of Arizona both tweaked hamstrings or have hamstring issues. So that is something as well to pay attention to. And y'all know me, like I always talk about. Y'all know I'm a reader. And you know what I said about hamstring and muscle tears and what Bruce Lee said about it. Bruce Lee said that that's because they're not taking the proper time to stretch, and that's in his opinion. And if you think Bruce Lee is a hell of an athlete, then you need to take that advice and stretch a little bit more. But thank you for that, family, as well. Hopefully we do kind of avoid that bug, man. Hopefully we do. We deep all over the place, so let's just hope and pray. Lee Wood, who that to you? Appreciate you, Lee Wood, chiming in from the Philippines. What up, fam? He says, what up, Q? Goodell has decided to help the refs legally blind out this season and allow them to use CNI dogs. That's funny. Mark says, 2 more weeks, I'm ready for some Saints football. Bring on Brady. We're ready to get nasty in the dome. Who that? Yeah, and they're saying Tom Brady's looking good. I've seen some footage of Tom Brady looking pretty sharp. But, we'll see how that all goes when when the time comes. We got to shake a lot of rust off here, man. So I think we're professional. We're going to handle business like we always do. Crash said Breeze looked like a Marine drill sergeant. Ramsey, who that to you? Ramsey, good to see you as well. Big ups to you. It's True Louisiana, who that to you says, I like how quick Jameis dropped back each time after the snap. That's a really good thing to me. Yeah, he's energetic. A lot of people say he's excited to be there. And he knows, like I know, he's seen what happened with Teddy Bridgewater, and I'm telling you, he can have the similar. It's all about up here, and I've always said that from the first step. I didn't want him on the team because I didn't think this was right, but I underestimated the power, I guess I could say, for lack of better words, of the camaraderie, the familyness, or the togetherness, the harmony, the synergy of the Saints locker room will take dysfunctional players and revitalize them, rejuvenate them. And this is what you're seeing with Jameis Winston as well as what you're seeing with Teddy Bridgewater. Remember, Teddy didn't want to go anywhere, but this could be a blessing in disguise as we move forward. So that's very interesting. Thank you for that, Scoob. Let's see. We need Jameis to learn fast and allow Drew Payton and Pete to run some space in his head, to rent some space in his head. Okay, I got you, Scoob. Thank you for that, bro. True Louisiana says not watching these playoff games. Donald Woods. Who that to you? Donald Woods. Who that to you? Says Drew look old with that haircut. He said he looks younger. I'm not buying it. The only thing we need to watch out for is make sure Drew is healthy and he's got his live arm back. I think that's some of the things he might be considering as well. Jay Survivor, who that to you? Welcome to the live stream, fam, as well. As the family chiming in. Now I'm gonna share my screen with the family members as we just played 2 interviews. We played one by Sean Payton directly after the training practice today, where the guys put on pads today. We also just played Drew Brees' thought process on what he's seen from camp and his stuff. And also we'll go next, and I have 2 more interviews. Like I said, I have Nigel Bradham coming up, and then also behind him we got Cam Jordan coming up soon. So we'll play those interviews, and I'll kind of break them up. But now I'm going to share my screen with the family members, and we're going to jump into some of this camp news and get into a report on it. Just give me a second, and I'll pull it up. So let's move into it. Saints day 1 training camp observations. Pete is missing. Center guard shuffle begins. Now, of course, you heard Coach Payton say during his interview that he was flip-flopping Ruiz and McCoy. Now, there was observations from several reporters, including Sean Fazand, who had posted a lot of good footage from Twitter, and I'll share that footage with you guys momentarily about some things that was going on, catches and whatnot, Jameis, Winston, and all this kind of stuff. But he made a reference about, or a point on the fact that McCoy looks more like a guard versus Ruiz looks more like a center. But you heard Payton said that he'll flip-flop the guys as long as he's throwing Nick Easton in there and Ruiz and McCoy and all this kind of stuff. But don't expect this to stay the same. Expect this to change. I think it will change as well. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I covered it on the back of Saturday Saints Talk, that it makes no sense to draft one of the best centers in the league. I mean, in college during the draft earlier this year, draft them to play them at guard. It makes no sense when they had high ranking guards in there. So I don't anticipate this will stay. I definitely anticipate they'll flip flop sooner or later. So we'll see what goes on. Very interesting thought process on doing that. It's just amazing to me. It's just really amazing to me on doing that. But I don't expect that to stay the same. Okay, let's get into this one. This is from Amy Jess, and she breaking it down. The first padded practice of training camp was shorter than the norm, with 90-minute outdoor session was graciously cooler than the preseason practices of the years past. Because of the shortened time, the Saints had one team period, a one-on-one period, and worked on special teams. He said the Saints media rules during training camp without fans in attendance. Fans cannot attend this year because of the pandemic. They prohibit the reporting of personnel groupings, first, second, third team units, specific formation, alignments, trick plays, situational plays, and statistics. Although, if coaches and players talk about any of the aforementioned in post-practice interviews, then it's a fair game, okay? But they won't volunteer any information, is what she's saying. Now, Monday's observations, according to Denola.com, 4 players were not spotted. That's Andrews Pete, Josh Hill, Anthony Chiquillo, and Tino Ellis were not observed there. No specifics on why they weren't. Coach Payton didn't give specifics regarding the absences of Pete, Chiquillo, or Ellis, he did note that Hill had a tweak into camp. Quote, we've been real mindful of where he's at. And, of course, y'all heard that earlier because I played that during the interview. 2 players who were spotted practicing were all-pro return man Deontay Harris, who's back. He was on the C-19 list. He has come back. And Johnson Badamosi, who was on the PUP list and came back. So Harris removed from the reserve COVID-19 list Sunday evening, and Badamosi passed his physical on Friday after starting training camp on the physical and unable to perform list because of an ankle injury he suffered during practice in December. Now let's get to the center guard shuffle. With Pete not at practice, offensive lineman Nick Easton filled in at left guard, but that's not the storyline of training camp. The right guard position is. On Monday, center Cesar Ruiz played right guard while Eric McCoy stayed at center. Payton said the coaches are evaluating both Ruiz and McCoy, both at center and right guard. quote, probably every second or third day we'll evaluate flipping them around, Payton said. We're rotating these guys along with Easton inside. We feel like obviously all those reps are important overall. Rookie watch, of course, y'all probably heard by now that Zach Bourne was playing next to Demario Davis and Alex Anzalone. He was in there with him. He played the Sam spot, I think they said, the strong side position in their base 4-3 package. Not much to report in terms of rookie tight end Adam Troutman and Tommy Stevens. The Saints are working Stevens in at the Y and F spots, meaning he'll play both in and the move tight end position. He's got to learn, but he's putting forth the energy and the study to do it, says Payton. Stevens switching from quarterback to tight end. Additionally, undrafted wide receiver Marquez Callaway got some work on punt return alongside of Harris, which is really good, and Elvin Kamara as well. Now, plays of the day on offense, wide receiver Emmanuel Butler showed off why he was the darling of last year's training camp. And one-on-ones, quarterback Jameis Winston hit Butler on a fade route with safety C.D. Deuce, the artist formerly known as Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, draped in coverage. So that was interesting. And, of course, the play of the day on defense during the 2 11-on-11 drills, Janoris Jackrabbit Jenkins bulldozed his way into the backfield off a corner blitz to swat down a pass attempt from Taysom. So, we're trying to get some of this stuff done. Player of the day came down to, you guessed it, P.J. Williams. Peanut Butter and Jelly Williams. The star of the show on Monday's practice was far away was him. He had 2 plays that could have been the play of the day, but he's getting a whole section devoted to what he did during 11-on-11 drills. Williams picked off Winston, though it wasn't entirely Winston's fault. Winston passed the ball to rookie Jawan Johnson, and it bounced off his hands like some Dan Arnold type stuff and landed in Williams' breadbasket. Then a few plays later, Williams forced running back Dwayne Washington to fumble the ball. That's not good, Dwayne. You might need to go and trial fullback. Then New Orleans defensive end Marcus Hunt recovered a fumble. He's one of the players that I think has a good football IQ. That's what Payton said about Peanut Butter and Jelly Williams. He forced fumble and interception is good to give him some additional work. Now, it's worth noting that P.J. Williams, they're saying that he's been having a few plays where he's playing at the safety position, and he's been looking pretty good. And we've known that for a while about P.J. Williams, that he's a great tackling cornerback, and he has a good size, and he will make a terrific safety, as we've seen in the last 4 games of the regular season last year when Von Bell and both Marcus Williams went down. Now, looking into tomorrow, the Saints have a scheduled off day tomorrow. They resume practice in full pads on Wednesday. You heard Coach Payton say it himself that there is no more he said there's no more how he phrased it, no more ramp up period. I'm kind of ramp up period myself, man, but to be quite honest with you, we as a whole, man, when you watch how the Saints have played right now, we got a little video footage that's spinning right here that's showing some of the camp right here. As some of the guys, you see Deontay Harris there, Tre'Quan Smith, you see Jameis right there, Taysom in the backfield, several assistant coaches. That's Kamara there, and you see them doing a little rollout, and there's Jameis working on it. There's the handoff. Jameis is long, man. He does look at him. He look pretty good, man. He looked like he did when he came out of Florida State. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. His rookie year, he looked real good. Look at this. Little throw there. He hits, that's Tony Jones Jr. right there. He hits him with the ball on a route. And there he is, Jameis, right across the middle. He finds, who is that? Marquez, look like Callaway. Number 12, yeah, that was Callaway. And look at the deep ball down there, and boom, he beats him. And that's Benny Fowler beats, that's the play that was somebody he beats C.D. Deuce. He might want to change his name back. 83 is Jawan Johnson, by the way, family. If y'all are confused about that, number 83. Here go the pass where P.J. gets burnt by Tre'Quan. Look. So, I mean, some things never change, do they? You got to catch it, man. You did a good job, right? But, yeah, that's some of it, family. We're going to go into the wire here, and you can see right here just a few plays. Some of those plays that I showed you already, that was the pass right there with Jameis connecting with Tre'Quan Smith, burning Peanut Butter and Jelly Williams right here. Look at it again. Bam, he beat him. And of course, you know, it was a pretty good throw. You know, so pretty good, man, to be honest with your family. Pretty good to see some of these guys playing. Here goes so much footage and play some more footage of it. And here is, I can't tell, oh, nice shake off him. I think that's Fowler right there. He shook off the rookie. Number 38 is, I want to say Washington. It's one of the rookie defensive backs. I want to say, I have to get my number chart together. But he just shook him out of his shoes. Then, boop, he left him in the wind. It was just a poor pass. But, man, look, here goes some more footage right here. That's Emmanuel against Jackrabbit there. Looked like that was Jackrabbit with all that hair. He made the play. So it's interesting, man, to see some of these guys finally get in there and get it done. Tracy Porter's birthday is today as well. So some more footage from Cap. That's Drew right there with the soft throw he threw to Traquan Smith again. And Traquan, people saying Traquan actually looking pretty good in camp, y'all. How y'all feel about that? Traquan is actually looking pretty good in camp. So y'all stop hating on Traquan, all right? Traquan looking good in camp, family. Traquan looking good in camp. So there it is, man, and that's just more footage, more of the same. And, man, it is what it is, family. As we continue, Kiko Alonso, happy birthday to Kiko. August the 14th was his birthday. I missed that one. I didn't get that one. But anyway, this is some of the stuff I'm showing the family members here. Some more footage as old Coach Payton there walking across the field right there as the guys stretch. So it's just some of the footage, just showing you a little footage. Look at Cam acting a fool. Just a little footage of some of the guys, man. You know, happy to be back on the field to play. And, of course, there's Miss Benson chiming in with the wave. Got the stylish mask on there, as you can see. So it's good to see the guys are healthy. Everybody's taking the precautions, and they're back on the field of play. So that is a bonus and a positive. All right, family. I thought that was fun to see some of those players, man. PJ got the player of the day, family. PJ Williams, peanut butter and jelly. Of course, it wouldn't be right unless PJ, he was doing all that good stuff, and then we just seen him get burned right quick, you know. But he does have amnesia, though. I got to give it to PJ. He has amnesia. He'll forget that stuff lickety-split. You know what I'm saying? So it's good to know. All right, family, thank y'all for chiming in. Darius Sampy, I see your family in the chat. For the family members I didn't see, Mr. Boombastic. Crash says Winston dropping down, but some of y'all sleeping on him. He has a nice touch to say he has a strong arm. He has a complete game. He's always had a complete game. I always knew who Jameis was. The issue with him was, like I said, it was up here. And I've always said that. If he can straighten out this, he'll be fine and look like he has. Now, we may mention in the fact, Bear and other people, the fact that he had surgery on his eyes, the fact that he got married, the fact that he's definitely taken serious. He's pissed off by the fact that he got a cheap contract. You know, all that. He has all of the motivating factors to push him further into becoming better than what he is. Scoop says, it's your phrase, Q, positionless football. Payton likes to train his guys at multiple positions. Ruiz and McCoy will be interchangeable. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it as well, Scoob, as well. And I guess he's trying to see, being that you don't have the proper amount of time, like in a regular situation. You could have this guy was drafted and then could have been walked into it. You see what I'm saying? Could have been walked into it a different way. Now your timeline is expedited. It's sped up. So you got to make certain adjustments. I imagine. So we'll see how it all shakes. So some of these rookies, they got to get on code real fast. So family, we're gonna go to the next interview. Chimed up. And next, the bat, we have an interview coming up here from Cam the Man Jordan, as he's gonna talk about what's going on in camp with the Saints. And you know, Cam is always one of those guys that's outspoken. Let's see what he have to say about camp.
Everything right? Are you feeling better about everything right now as far as the safety and the protocols and all of that you did a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that I can do an interview virtually and not have anybody else in the room other than the cameraman who's about 7 feet away, which allows me to have my 6-foot bubble. I do appreciate that. No, I think that our team has definitely implicated exactly how our guidelines are going to go and have put in place how we're going to go about things, from where we enter to where we exit to how we're going to go through having, rotations of who's lifting, who's not lifting. I think they've done a great job there. But I mean, this is a full contact sport. I can only hope that, we've talked about the stories that are out in the league. We have 80 people right now that we have to rely on, not only the 80 playing, but the coaches, the training staff. Everybody has to do their right things. So it's beyond just, what we can control. It's about everybody doing their part.
Next question is from Christopher Dunnels. Chris?
The NFC South has seen a little bit of a quarterback shuffle, so I'm curious, between Matt Ryan, Tom Brady, and your former teammate Teddy Bridgewater, who are you looking forward to playing the most this season?
I mean, I would give you the answer I guess you're looking for, but week 1 we have Tom Brady coming up. That's what I'm going to focus on. In less than 17 padded practice. I'm not sure how that goes. In the next 3 or 4 weeks we have the Tampa Bay coming into the house, and of course there'll be no fans in the facility. So that's going to be awkward to deal with in itself. But I would say Tom Brady strictly because he's the next game.
Next question from Caroline Gonzalez. Caroline?
Caroline!
So we're just going to ignore that you sneezed there. But anyway, Marcus talked a little bit about having to focus more on football this offseason other than the other extracurricular things that he does. Did you have hands-on, or did you talk to him a lot this offseason? Not hands-on because of COVID. Did you talk to him a lot this offseason about his football and kind of where he needs to go approaching year 3?
If anything, I actually probably was hands-on. I mean, in terms of the way we were lifting, the way we were conditioning, I had an off-season surgery. He had an off-season surgery. We really rehabbed for that first part of the off-season together. When I say together, we were probably like 5 tables away and on different numbers, but within the same building. It was the first part. It was me, Trey Henderson, and Marcus Davenport, and the second part it was me, Marcus, and Sheldon Rankin. So I mean, I've had competitive rehab more so than I normally do. Normally I go off in the off season to Arizona and I train myself. This would really be like the real first year where it was just like constant me pushing him pushing me, whether we're doing sprints, running, whatever. If anything, I know in depth of what he can do. I mean, he's gotten stronger. We all know how explosive he is. I keep throwing out he's a freak talent. And he has freakish type athletic behavior. And this is just something we're trying to apply to the field. We're just trying to make him a little bit faster. If he can go in terms of body and mind in the same spot, that's where we're going to see something special this year.
That's all very positive. Good to hear.
Next question from Luke Johnson. Luke?
Cam, just curious what your initial thoughts are of having Malcolm Jenkins back on the field with you. It's been,
half
7
decade?
years since you've been teammates on the field?
Yeah, it's been a long time. But, super excited to have him back. I mean, everybody knows he's one of those field generals. He's just, he's so savvy to the game in terms of everything that he's seen. He has championship mentality, not only here, but then he left and went to go win a championship with Philadelphia, and now he's back. We're trying to create that same feel, that same culture, and I feel like we have that power to do so in terms of our defense, in terms of our offense. We're creating a perfect little window for this year. I wish it had been under normal circumstances so everybody can come witness the work that we're putting in right now. But that being said, super excited to have him with the DB Corps.
Next question's from Rod Walker. Rod? You're muted, Rod.
My bad. Cam, I wasn't going to ask this, but I saw you throwing your hair around, so I figured I'd ask. What's kind of been the reception from your teammates about your hair?
I mean, the curls were hitting way harder. The Jerry curl was smashing the first day, but now we're like 3 weeks in. It got a little wiggle to it. It's a little airy. I've got dreams, hopes, and goals. I'm not saying I'm channeling my inner 80s, 90s vibes, but I'm feeling good about it. The reception is pork chop sideburns are winners. What? Oh, okay.
Cam Jordan is something else, man. Dude. Anyway, let's move on to the next one, man. We'll come back and hit on some of the points that Cam made. Really important stuff about him working out with Davenport is really big, man. Year 3, we're supposed to see a transition here, which we normally would see. I just want the kid to stay healthy, man. We really don't have room for error because it's very slim pickings behind him, in my opinion. So let's move to the next interview and the final interview of the show. We have Nigel Bradham. That's right, Nigel Bradham, who is I guess the Saints' biggest acquisition to make the team. We'll tune up Nigel Bradham, his thoughts on Saints camp. Here we go.
Awesome. All right, everyone, we have Nigel Bradham here today, and you guys put your questions in the chat, so you can go ahead and we can start from there. All right, first question is going to be from Luke Johnson. Luke?
Nigel, I guess this is our first time talking to you since you joined the squad. So, why New Orleans, and what's been your kind of early impression of the franchise?
It's been great, man. Obviously, it's a great organization, an organization that knows how to win and knows how to compete and put themselves in position to be in great situations late in the year. So anytime you get an opportunity to join a situation like that, you're extremely blessed, which I'm fortunate to be, and obviously happy to be here and enjoy a new city. Obviously a lot of new teammates, getting to know them, and just trying to fit in, man, and do my thing.
I'll ask a follow-up if nobody's got one.
Go ahead.
Okay. What's this kind of defense like? Just as somebody who's kind of competed against this team a couple times, so now that you're actually in it, what do you notice about this defense in particular?
It's a multiple defense. That was the first thing I noticed. We run a lot of different looks, a lot of different schemes, and anytime you pretty much just have an advantage from week in and week out, being able to change up your defense and give offenses different looks.
Next question's from Amy Just. Amy?
Yeah, today, first day of pads, obviously. What was it like, getting out there and working, especially in the full 11 setting?
Oh, it was great. Obviously, just having the opportunity to put on the pads again and be able to hit each other and build some kind of chemistry out there today. The energy was great. I mean, the pads was flying around. It was a great setting for everybody to enjoy. Offense made great plays, defense made great plays, so it was very competitive, and we look forward to just keep working and getting better.
Next question's from Caroline Gonzalez. Caroline?
Hey, so obviously you spent time in Buffalo and with the Eagles. What's your first impression of the culture of this team after spending a few days practices with them?
It's definitely a different type of environment, a different culture, because the last two organizations I went to wasn't really a winning organization. So when you come to a place where it's known for winning and known for being in the postseason, you see the different type of culture they have and the expectations that they have naturally and what they expect out of you as a player.
Next question's from Andrew Dope. Andrew?
Hey, Nigel, how you doing, man?
I'm great.
Good. Kind of two-part question for you, if I can. First part, what have you taken from someone like Demario Davis and, the early impressions that you have playing with someone like him?
Man, Demario's been great. Obviously, I've been blessed to know him my whole career, being able to meet him at the Combine and pretty much just, continue to talk to each other throughout the league and our careers. Great person, great leader, and obviously one of the best linebackers in the game. And you see why, because his work ethic. He works every day, day in and out, and he's the great leader of this team, man. And I'm just trying to fall right in and follow his path.
Nigel Bradham, family. That's Nigel Bradham breaking it down. He's saying all the right stuff, man. to be honest with you. And he coming off a season with Philadelphia in which he played in 12 games, started 12 games, 735 snaps for him, 61 tackles total, and 1 interception in his final year with Philadelphia. His totals are in games, 115 games played, 96 of them started, 5,785 snaps total. Total tackles, 617 total tackles, 3 interceptions, 4 forced fumbles by Nigel Bradham. And you heard what he said, Demario Davis is a guy that he's known for a long time. And, of course, Nigel should fit in pretty smoothly, to be honest with you, with this team because of the obvious fact that he has teammates that he played with his championship run with Philadelphia, as you guys know. We're talking about Malcolm Jenkins, who signed back this year. We're also talking about Patrick Robinson as well. So these guys should have – it's a good thing because they're on the same side of the ball with him, and they'll get him up to speed on what needs to be done in the defense with this kind of short time frame chopped down from what we've seen before. So I'd like to thank all the beautiful Black and Gold family members chiming in. Please hit the like button, family, as well as we continue to move forward in the Saints talk. So that covered a lot of the stuff dealing with the camp. We went over it. Like we said, tomorrow, Tuesday, no camp. They break. They come back full pads on Wednesday. The rep-up period is over with. It's time to get busy. You're going to see a lot of injuries occur like you're seeing around the league with Paul Gerald McCoy and several others. So this won't be the end. Hopefully the guys will take their time, drink plenty of water, and stretch. Whatever you do, fellas, make sure you stretch. Don't cheap shot yourself on stretching. Trust me on that. It really works. It really does. Donald says Teddy is similar to Drew, though just more mobile than Drew, though. Okay, thank you for that, Donald. He also says Traquan Smith is going to be playing on the outside. Emmanuel Sanders is going to be playing in the slot. I don't know about that originally because if you have 2 wide receivers, you have Mike where he plays, and then it's Emmanuel Sanders. But listen, Emmanuel could do that, and that's the thing about Emmanuel Sanders that's terrific. He could play inside and out. He doesn't have any issues playing inside and out. But remember, Taysom Hill is in the package too. You can't forget about Taysom Hill. Guys that are not wide receivers will take his snaps. It's just too many of them that's more that do what he do, that do it better than him. Taysom Hill does it better than him. He runs through the slot, through the center of the field where the linebackers and the safety dwell, and he happy. He loved the contact. So Taysom Hill could end up taking a lot of his reps like he did last year. You have Ty Montgomery, who's a running back / wide receiver who you can see playing in the slot, who's tough as hell as well. Then you can see other guys like Adam Troutman, perhaps a Tommy Stevens if he gets there, but definitely Adam Troutman doing that same place, playing inside of there as well. So there are several people that can look at that can end up taking Traquan Smith's reps away. Too bad. He needs to step up this year, man. I still don't think they get rid of him yet. He still got another year after this year left on his contract. Really cheap money, and I think Sean Payton likes him. But we'll see how that goes because this is a different year. It really is. It's a different type of year altogether this year, and we'll see how things turn and twist because we need results, man. I hear the stuff about Emmanuel Butler once again showing up doing this kind of stuff, but you can miss me with that. You done that last year. Let's see what you can do in the game. And, of course, the regular game, a lot of these guys are going to make it to that phase, but he might end up on the list. But you never know how things will shake up with the injuries. That's the big thing. That's the big thing. Big thing. So that we have to keep that in mind. All right, Donald says, okay, I read that one. True Louisiana said, I heard that Carolina outcast. Caroline. Yeah, that dude is out of his mind. Kevin, the GM Kev says Tulane having a season. What up with Conference USA, Q? I have to look on that, Kev. I have to take a look at that. I don't know. There's still several other conferences that haven't made a decision up to my knowledge. I know the ACC hadn't said anything as of yet. We're gonna check. I'm gonna check on that and see. I haven't heard anything. I haven't checked on that, so we'll see how it goes. King Creole, who that to you? Good to see you in the chat as well, fam. Big ups to you. Rush Hour says Cam looking like he ready for some sacks. Yeah, man. After all that stuff of waiting and sitting down, them guys ready to play some football. I tell you what, man, they really are. Donald says Jameis Winston just got to cut the turnovers cut the turnovers. He can do it. Teddy is just a better decision maker than Jameis. Jameis is the better talent, and Jameis is 25 young. I agree with you. I would say he was a far better quarterback than Teddy Bridgewater could ever be. And we speaking about Jameis Winston. He's definitely that. He has all of the throws. He can do it all. He's a better athlete. The thing is, Teddy's more cerebral up here, But if he can get that together, could you imagine what kind of quarterback he can be for you? So a lot of people kind of underestimating Jameis Winston. What kind of shape would he be coming into the camp? He let you know he was playing base, swinging the bat, boxing, doing everything. And he come into camp super excited and ready to roll. You know what I'm saying? The pressure's not on him. All he has to do is go there, learn, and sit behind Drew Brees. You can enjoy that experience. And they're paying you $1 million to learn from a future Hall of Famer and a future Hall of Fame coach. You're paying you $1.1 to come here to Saints University in the QB room. I think it's an absolute steal for Jameis Winston. It'll definitely help him develop into something that we know he's supposed to be. We're getting this guy because he underachieved a bit out there in Tampa Bay because of the surroundings. There is no such thing here. He'll have receivers. He'll have offensive protection. He'll have running backs. He'll have a good defense on the other side that's consistent in the special team. As we know, the Saints are a team that is incredibly balanced. So he'll have those things. He just needs to learn right now, and and hopefully we won't need to see him this year at all, unless it's a play that Payton running like he did last year when he had three quarterbacks on the field at the same time. When he split Drew out to wide receiver, hopefully that's the only time we'll see Jameis Winston, that and cleanup duty. Outside of that, no, we don't need to see him this year because we got bigger aspirations. Crash says, I'm just not feeling Trey Smith. He says, too inconsistent in disappearing games. Fowler, Montgomery could take some of his snaps, no doubt about it. I forgot to mention Fowler as well. He's not here just to be a back. This guy is what can I say? He's the most veteran wide receiver behind Emmanuel Sanders. You know what I'm saying? It's Emmanuel Sanders in terms of guys that have been here for a while. Then you have him, and he has a Super Bowl ring as well. So, a lot of people might be underestimating Fowler, but I don't know. You might want to keep your eye out on him because he could step in there and do some stuff. Watching, we're gonna have to wait and see. But he is a question mark there, no doubt about it. All right, let's keep it moving here. Donald says Nigel Bradham is way better than AJ Klein, better all around. I think Klein's, you look at knowing the game, Klein can recognize stuff, but as far as their athleticism and all that belong to Nigel Bradham, you across the board. I might say AJ Klein might got Bradham in a Saints uniform because he knows what he's saying, but Bradham could easily pick up that and move forward too. So, yeah, physicality-wise, athletic-wise, no doubt about it. Bradham is a hitter too. He'll knock your butt off, but he will. All right, 985, Jay, what's happening, baby? Donald says AJ Klein will be good with the Bills, though McDermott is a way better defensive-minded coach than Dennis Allen. Several really good coordinators are as well. So Dennis Allen got to get out of his own way and call better games for real, man. Dada, who that to you? Dada, good to see you in the chat. True Louisiana say he's right. Buffalo never really was in the playoffs, and the Eagles was 1 year out. Next, LOS Saints were consistent with playoff appearance. We just need to get to the next level. We can get to the playoffs. We just need to climb through and get through and keep on moving. That's what the hell we need to do. All right, let's keep it going there. Scoop says he's definitely a great pickup. Derek says, true, we're going to fix him. Donald says Jim Schwartz is outstanding defensive coordinator, but Malcolm Jenkins and Nigel Bradham in great situations to make plays. Yeah, those guys are smart guys, and we just increased the intelligence of our defense. When you add guys like Nigel Bradham and Malcolm Jenkins to your defense, it increases the level of defense IQ-wise, just like this. And plus, these are hard hitter and tough football players as well, so it just makes your team better overall. Dada says good as Emmanuel Sanders. He says good as Emmanuel Sanders. Let him play anything, even a QB trick play. Remember the one he threw on us last year in the Dome. Yeah, he's very talented. Kevin says, Q, you putting up some work, bro. All the podcasts in the last few days. Keep grinding, bro. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that, bro. And like I say, family. And, if I tell you something, we're going to get it done. And another thing is and I've told y'all this before, I'm pretty open and transparent with you guys on how we do. And, you know, the family members have really turned up the support as of late, you know. And I'm saying you guys have always been there, but it's been an influx of support that is coming in. I mean, the WhoDatDaily.com, more people joining up on the Patreon, more people subscribing and becoming YouTube members and regular subscribers, more people sharing the links, more people supporting the streams in any way they can do, whether they're telling their family and friends about it or buying merchandise from the several virtual stores that we have. You guys have been just absolutely terrific. We've produced gear, you guys buy it, and when you do that, it charges me, it gives me the fuel and the speed card to keep going right to the top. So when you guys did that, it just, you know, I was like, yeah, it's time to go, baby. It's time to go, baby. So it's like having a low grade gas you put in your car, then you put that good stuff in there, give you that extra kick. That's what that was, and that's the fuel. That's why I've been turning it up, because the family member been so great with what they've been doing, even actually greater. And I just appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank y'all for what y'all been doing, man. And I'm just showing y'all that I'm appreciative, and I'm going hard in the paint, baby. I'm going on the paint, baby. I'm going. So that's what this is, fam. So I appreciate you as well, GM Kev, for that, man. Thank y'all, brother. Really appreciate that. And just to let you know, bro, I didn't know it, but I was going to hit y'all with a surprise later on tonight. We are also doing a TSC Unleashed tonight, where we'll talk about the playoffs. So that'll be coming up around 8 o'clock on this channel. TSC Unleashed will be tonight. I wanted to surprise y'all with that. Surprise! All right, let's keep it going. Scoop says, Drew, Taysom, Tommy on the field at once. Trick plays could be very imaginative. I'm telling you, that package, you put Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston, and perhaps Tommy Stevens out there, they can do so much. Remember, this is the positionless football thing that we talked about over and over again. So that's what it's about, man. We continue to thrive and continue to push it. And the only thing that can stop the Saints is the Saints. We need to, you know, we get in there, we get everything together. We can stay as healthy as we possibly can, but we built with all the depth in the world just in case we have a few slip-ups. You know, we just have to be careful of that. Once again, JT, who that to you, fam? Strucit, good to see you, my little boy. My son is in the chat as well. Always support, man. When you got your children supporting you, man, you must be doing something right, man. And I'm proud of my son, and he's proud of his dad. John Thompson, who that to you, John? Good to see you in the chat as well. Dada says, hit the button, please, if you already haven't. Thank you, family. Please do like Dada and Derek said, and Scoob and the rest of the family members. Hit the like button. It helps the show out. All right. Let's keep it going there as well, family. Thank y'all for all y'all do, man. I really do appreciate y'all. All right. Tramal says QB's jammed the Trey Smith at the line like he an infant. I mean, he lighting the ass, man. Just to kind of put it, you know, he's a tall guy. One of the scouting reports said he has a limited frame. He can't fill out his frame anymore. That might be the case. He might not be able to fill out his frame any more than that, but he can get stronger. And I think that's a part of it as well, too. That if you taking on cornerbacks and safeties, these guys are going to put their hands on you and get physical with you within that first 5 yards. Look how Mike Thomas handles those guys. When Mike Thomas them when he getting that first move, you know, and that guy gets in front of him, that guy tried to put his hand on Mike, and Mike just rips their hands away and goes into his move. And then Mike has a seamless bunch of stutter steps and fakes that, you know, everything is a seamless motion, and it's tough to guard a guy like that because maybe his hips are too tight. He'll show what he's about to do, and you can play off of that. But he's worked on his moves to the point where it's a seamless motion. And all he has to do is pretty much go like he going in and come back here. It was one play I remember, I think it was in a Tennessee Titans game last year, when Mike was running and then he stopped like he was going to break it down. And he patted his feet like he was going to cut to the left. And the cornerback actually stopped. And then when he stopped, Mike seen him stop, Mike took off. So, I mean, that type of stuff, man, you know, it's just that really is why he's great. You know what I'm saying? But Traquan has examples of greatness. He should learn. Like, we talking about Jameis Winston and how Jameis is doing what he do. The truth of the matter is that Traquan Smith should benefit from Emmanuel Sanders like a Marcus Williams do from a Malcolm Jenkins, or a Zach Bowen from a Nigel Bradham, Demario Davis. You see what I'm saying? You have proper instruction at the position where you are, like Jameis learned from Drew and Taysom. You know, these guys will give you the right routine or the right ways to handle things in this on this team. And I think that's the same thing with Traquan Smith. He's had multiple years of being next to Mike Thomas, but perhaps Mike's not a good teacher. Maybe Mike's just focusing on getting his stuff together. Emmanuel Sanders, a guy that's been all over the place, and Benny Fowler. These are veteran guys with championship rings, journeymen that been around in different systems that can help a young, struggling wide receiver like Traquan Smith. So let's not discount that. We know he can get stronger, and these guys can help him work on his route running. These guys can teach him what to do. Perhaps he can develop the instinct to know when somebody's coming, because that's that field awareness, that spidey sense that I talked about some time ago, of knowing to catch the ball and to feel your surroundings like a quarterback feels the pocket, feels it collapsing on him, and he knows to get out of there or throw the ball away. That's the same presence, awareness of your environment that you got to have when you're running in the slot, you know. So, yeah, I mean, these are in Traquan Smith, unlike Marcus Williams, because people throw them kind of bushel those guys together, and that's not right. Marcus Williams has been starting since he's been here. He has been the starter since he's been here, you know. So his development and tackling, he should be a lot further along. If he was a better tackler, no doubt in my mind, he would be one of the top in the league as far as the safeties go. To me, that's what stopped him, his tackling. And I think his tackling is based upon up in here. I think it's a mental component to it that's going on. There's some fear up in here. It's fear up in here. Fear, just like Traquan Smith got fear running across the middle. You can't be scared in football, man. You know, you might get your clock knocked off, but that's why you make the big bucks. But if you can field your surroundings, you can survive. A lot of wide receivers have done it. You know, some of the greatest worked on their field awareness to understand their surroundings and understand, you know, quick looks here or there, to understand, you know, to take up when you're looking, when you take off, and to take kind of frame the field, just know where everybody is. You know, just like a quarterback goes through repetitions. A wide receiver does the same thing if he's smart. He knows where his man is in front of him. He knows where the safety is, what they're doing. He takes a quick view, a quick panoramic shot of everything in his mind before he goes there to know exactly what safety, this safety, he dropped back in the coverage, or this one he dropped down in the blitz, you know, so that I'll be able to run such and such the linebacker. He's sitting in the middle. You see what I'm saying? And it's the same thing a lot of players do. It's that field awareness, and each player, if they use it correctly, they can prolong their careers. All right, let's keep it going, family. Let's keep it moving. Thank y'all in the chat. John says, do you think Carl Granderson, Marcus Hunt, and Trey Hendrickson will collectively get under 12 sacks this year? Under 12 sacks. Granderson, Hunt, and Hendrickson, 12 sacks. That's just 4 sacks apiece if they can do it like that. Carl Granderson, you probably can throw him, 3 sacks? You can Marcus Hunt maybe 2 or 3 sacks. Trey Hendrickson might 3 or 4 sacks. I mean, I could see them, you know, I don't know. But that's really low for backup defensive ends, man, that can come in and get some duty. But I'm going to give them the benefit of doubt. I'll say they'll get 12 sacks. I will give them that. Let's give Granderson, because I think Granderson will see some more time. I can say Granderson, who has the speed to get there, I can give him 3 sacks. Marcus Hunt, who will play, depending on where Marcus Hunt plays, whether it's outside or inside, we don't know that yet. You know, I'm thinking more inside than outside. If that's the case, maybe a couple of sacks, depending on because it depends. He might not see the field if he's an interior defensive lineman, because he'll have to sit behind guys like Shai Tuttle and Mario Edwards Jr. if he's still on the team. Definitely guys like Onyemata and Rankins, and you know he's buried in there. He'll probably see some defensive end position if that's the case. I'll spot him 3. So I can spot him 3. So I'll give him that. I'll go with you on that, John. I'll say 12 sacks. I'll give him that because that seems fair. That's only 4 sacks apiece. And, you know, Granderson will probably get 3. Hendrickson might get 4, This other guy might get, and fill out the rest of it. So I give 12. I'll say 12. That's fair enough. That's 12. Because basically, truth be told, those guys are your key pass rushers, not named Zach Bowen. Remember, Zach Bowen is going to be used in that equation too. So with those guys opposite of, kicking out Bowen, I give them 12, bro. I give them under. If they're healthy, if they can stay healthy and provide a push. That's the problem I have with Trey Hendrickson, because people saying, Q, why you don't like Trey Hendrickson? Trey Hendrickson ain't that bad. And I was like, bro, it's not the fact that I don't like Trey Hendrickson. I don't understand why people keep if you say something about a player and it's that was constructive criticism. I'm saying that Trey Hendrickson can't stay healthy. That's not an insult. That's the truth. How you know that's the truth? Well, you go look at his past season since Trey Hendrickson came here as a 3rd-round draft pick. We quick to talk about Traquan being a bust, but that guy Hendrickson was a 3rd-round pick himself from Florida Atlantic International, FIA, Florida International Atlantic, FIA, whatever it was. That's where Hendrickson came from. But we are quick to say Traquan Smith's a bust. But what about Hendrickson? He in the last year of his deal. He can't stay healthy, and and his body can't hold up as a backup defensive lineman. And that's why I have issues with Trey Hendrickson, his health. It don't have nothing to do with his production, because if he's healthy, he's going to give you 4 to 5 sacks off the bench. He's going to give you that. He's gotten better. I used to be hard on him back in the day because he used to get swallowed up by the run a lot. He used to get swallowed up and you couldn't use him there. But he's since got stronger. He's got better. He's been playing the run a lot better. And now his main problem in the final year of his contract is the fact that he cannot stay healthy. If he can stay healthy, then Trey Hendrickson can get you anywhere between 4 to 5, maybe 6 sacks in a season. That's what I'm saying. If he can stay healthy. That's a big if, though, because he hadn't done it, And that's what I'm saying. He's the key. He is the top pass rusher off the bench behind Davenport, who hasn't been able to stay healthy either. Now he looking good according to Cam. What Cam was saying, you can unpack that. What Cam's saying, man, we're trying to get him on the same page, yada, yada, yada. I'm working with him like before, but that's great news. But, whatever you doing to stay healthy, you need to pass it on to him. Whatever it is, whatever Taysom Hill did to stop getting hurt, please tell Davenport so he can do it, and Trey Hendrickson and Alex Anzalone. Well, Alex Anzalone not so much, because that's Alex's fault, man. It's his fault. But how you say that, Q? Because he should have went and took my advice and put the big ass shoulder pads on. I told him to go to the shoulder pad company, go to the shoulder pad and order you some Ken Nortons. Order you some, you know what? Remember this one, family. He can order him some Brian Cox's. Remember Brian Cox shoulder pad? Way up here, and they had the neck thing. They didn't have the neck roll. They had like the little board that go behind his head, and he had a stiff back like that. Remember that? We need to tell him to go and find Brian Cox and go buy his shoulder pads from him. I mean, because if you keep you keep having big issues with your shoulders, you need better pads on those shoulders. So if that's the case, then get bigger shoulder pads. This coming from a guy that played the linebacker position. What's a linebacker without his shoulders? Nothing. That's like a car without its wheels. You have to be able to impact the guy. You're going to have to use your shoulder, and your shoulder is constantly being surgically repaired. You're going to need the proper protection. Look at him. His damn shoulder pad's too small. And I've been telling people that. He's wearing quarterback size or running back size, not even running back. You know what? And if he can't find linebacker size shoulder pads, you know what you do? Go put them old fullback ass shoulder pads on. Put the fullback shoulder pads on. It's two people that have massive shoulder pads. It's going to be the linebacker and it's going to be the fullback. Go find you some Tom Rathman shoulder pads. That's what you need to do. Y'all remember big Tom Rathman from San Francisco? Go find Tom Rathman and buy his old shoulder pads and put them on. That's what you need to do. Come on. That's what I think. JT said, I think Sean Payton's tied with the wide receivers other than Mike. All right, let's keep it going here, fam. I'm going to work my way through here. Get through your questions. All right, let's keep it going. Donald says Gerald McCoy is out for the season and injury. Man, that's hard to hear. from a guy like, yeah, they were really excited about that. They just got Everson Griffin, and now they have to deal with McCoy. That's too bad, man. You know, he was a Carolina Panther. Then he went to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then there was some rumblings a couple of years ago that the Saints were communicating with McCoy. He never found his way down here. Matter of fact, I think it's the same year there was some rumblings, rumors of him, Saints talking to McCoy, the same time with Ndamukong Suh. It was right after that. Ndamukong Suh, or before that, somewhere around in there. He just never came this way. It's too bad, but then again, we ain't really need your ass. I mean, we all right. But I hope the brother, I mean, he kind of old in the tooth. That he could come back. I think he'll come back. All right, let's keep it going, fam. Derek says, facts, we love those high football IQ players. All right, Kevin says, unleash, yep. They still have Everson Griffin, though. Yes, they do. Sport Talk. What up, Sport Talk? 365 said, did you hear about Andrews Pete hand injury? Did you hear about Andrews Pete's hand injury? No, sir, I did not hear about Andrews Pete. We just played Sean Payton. We just went over the injury. I didn't know he had a hand injury, bro. Please tell. You know, put it in the chat, bro. Yeah, whatever you heard about his hand injury, because I haven't heard anything from Andrews Pete unless something was revealed while I was on the show. I didn't hear anything about it. Okay, there it is. Just 3 minutes ago. Now, this is coming from CBS Sports. Let me share my screen. Appreciate it, Sport Talk, bro. Appreciate you coming on here and dropping that, bro. 'Cause I was here talking, and they just dropped it like 3 minutes ago. Actually, yeah, 3 minutes ago. Saints Pro Bowl guard Andrews Pete dealing with hand injury. Timetable for return, uncertain. This just dropped 3 minutes ago from CBS Sports. Starting left guard Andrews Pete is dealing with a hand injury, and the timetable for return is unclear according to the Associated Press. Pete, who missed 6 games last season after suffering a fractured forearm, was absent from practice Monday, and New Orleans has not disclosed his status to this point. The 26-year-old is entering his 6th season in the NFL, with all the Saints in his playing his first season since inking a 5-year, $57.5 million contract with New Orleans back in March. Okay, then they go into particulars and go back in the day on them and giving the statistics. So this is pretty tough here. This is pretty tough. So we got Pete with a hand injury, which ultimately means that justifies our guy. You know who it is, the $6 million man, Nick Easton, who will fill in Andrews Pete's slot until we get back. Hopefully it's not nothing. Hopefully it's not something too bad, man. But appreciate that, Sport Talk. This just in. Saints Pro Bowl guard Andrews Pete dealing with hand injury. Timetable for return uncertain. So we'll get more on this as time move forward, family. But appreciate you, Sport Talk, dropping it. Just came out. Appreciate it. All right, let's keep it going, man. Okay, hold on. Okay. It scrolled on me. Scoop says, Q, Mike has very violent hands. You're 1,000% correct. Yeah, Mike Thomas will slap your hands off of him. If you watch, remember when, I'm gonna put it to you like this. Remember when Mike was playing against the Minnesota Vikings and it was in the regular season? I think was it last year or the year before? I think it was not last year, obviously, because I don't think Xavier Rhodes, he was hurt, or it was the year before. And Xavier Rhodes is known to be a physical cornerback who's touchy-feely. He's he's strong, he's physical. Man, Mike Thomas grabbed him, and Mike has huge hands. You know, Mike grabbed his like literally didn't smack his hand away. He smacks every now and again, but he grabbed his arm and threw it off of him. You know, it's like the guy grabbed his arm and threw it off of him in one seamless motion. It ain't like he stopped him. It's like one motion. He stopped and seamless motion and just kept on, you know what I'm saying? It was all fluid. And that's the thing that's really amazing about Mike Thomas, that he won't let you grapple him. He won't let you put your hands on him. Donald says, bring more blitz. This is why I miss Greg Williams so much. We won a lot with him. Great defensive mind, coach, tough on his players. We'll get the defense at all times. NFL cheated, my guy, fam. Yeah, I got you on that, Donald. That was, yeah, they kind of broke us up right there, but ain't no reason why Sean Payton couldn't have went to him before Dennis Allen. But Dennis Allen is his guy. He loves Dennis Allen. He loves Dennis Allen like he loves Pete Carmichael, man. He really does. Tramal said, P heard again. Yeah, I just played the report. Donald says, Dennis Allen, too nice for me. Got to get on his defensive players, show more tough love. I think, that's definitely the case. You got to get on these guys. But I think a lot of time a coach with a veteran team, like a lot of veteran players, usually you'll see some of these guys get on the younger players and you see him talk to them. So a lot of that, they kind of yield to the veteran leaders on the field, and they'll have this discussion because they're in charge of the group. And they'll say, listen, man, you can't do this and that. You got to get your head in the game, yada, yada, yada. And sometimes the coach will follow up. But it depends on the coaching style. But Dennis Allen is not a confrontational guy. Remember what happened with him and Keenan Allen? Keenan Lewis. When Keenan Lewis and him got into it, instead of them working it out, he went to Sean Payton and told him, get him off the team. And Sean Payton said, yeah, you gone. So they could have worked that out. Even Keenan Lewis said that. He said, we could have had a discussion. I could have still been on the team. We could have worked it out. Y'all remember playing that interview, talking about that. And he's not really a confrontational guy like that, He really isn't. Donald says, okay, I just read that one. Dallas, who that to you? Jermaine, good to see you, Jermaine. Who that to you? Tramal says, drop Traquan like a side chick. Dallas says, Smith is not that dude. He's soft and disappears after he takes a hit. Any game he went off, he wasn't hit hard at all. A lot of people don't like Traquan Smith, man. It'll be surprising if Traquan come into this season here, running across the middle. Who that to you, Marvin? I see your family, Marvin Norman. Who that? People might be surprised by Traquan Smith. He gonna have to throw it to the wind. He got to throw it, man. It's too many people that'll be peeling off his reps. He's got to throw it to the wind. If he gets hit, whatever, you get respect for that in a football player's eyes. If you catch the ball like last year when the guy bust his ass, and he still caught the ball and he knocked his helmet off and blooded his face, he got love for that. He just didn't follow it up with anything. If he's the guy that get busted like that and walk up and just he going to gain that toughness eventually. It'll come. He eventually get used to it, man. That's like a prize fighter, like Evander Holyfield. If you remember looking at Holyfield when he was a lightweight, he's a light heavyweight. Because that's where he dominated at. Then he ultimately moved up into the real heavies. He moved up there. He gained weight. And if you watched him fight in the mid-90s, he was a lot smaller. But what he did was he got his neck together and his neck got real stiff so he could take that pain that Mike Tyson was going to dish him. I say that to say that that's the same thing with Traquan Smith. It's a mindset. And you could do anything, man. They got people that was born in the world, man. They ain't even have legs and they running marathons right now. How you explain that, baby? I mean, seriously, think about what I just said, man. They got people that don't even have legs and they running marathons right now. You understand what I'm saying? So don't tell me about somebody that can't do something. He won't do it because it's in his mind not to do it. But sooner or later, if he make up his mind and handle this business, he can do it. Is this the year? I don't have a crystal ball. I wish I did. And if I did have a crystal ball, the first thing I would do is not tell you about whether Traquan Smith can run, will be able to do what I'm telling you can do across the field. It'd be get them goddamn lottery numbers. I'm just keeping it real with your family. Just keeping it real. All right, let's keep it going here. All right, True Louisiana says Betty injured. He putting his hand down to the ground on the line pre-snap. It's messed up. Scoop says seems to be Payton signed a lot of quick guys with separation abilities to combat these fast defensive lines in NFC. Jay says Harris definitely has more upside. Lee says, did anyone pick up Wade Phillips? The Lambs did not renew his contract. I'm not certain about that. But I'm pretty sure his old tail landed somewhere. He always do land somebody. He one of them dudes that can find a job anywhere. I don't know. Most recently served with the Rams, huh? Reed served the Rams. He also served. I don't know. They're not showing him with anything here. I don't know. Oh no, he's still out there according to this. Yeah, he's still out. He's out there. He's a free agent. He's out there. It says, according to an article that was written by Sports Illustrated back in February, that Phillips wants to return again. Man, come on, man. Enjoy your money and your time, man. Them guys spend a lifetime away from their families, man, and get used to that stuff, man. Go enjoy your family. Then again, they might be all grown with their own stuff, and You never know, man. That's like Andy Reid have all those boys, and then his boys was getting in trouble. And I was like, Andy, you a millionaire, dude. Go home and take care of your children, bro. But you never know. He might not be one of them dads that be like that coming there and that's hands on like that. You know what I mean? You know, my dad's out there know what time it is, and my mom's too. But you know, you got different type of fathers. Some of them better doing other stuff than doing other stuff. You know what I mean? They're good providing, but when they come home, they ain't good home for long periods of time because they used to be in the way. You know, they might get grumpy. It's different people, man. You know, it's different levels to it, man. But, you know, but Wade's out there, man. We'll see. Crash says, I see Pete has a hand injury. His return is unclear. This dude just got paid a lot of money, too. Yeah, he just got paid. Jason said, I would love to have Wade Phillips here in New Orleans. Wade Phillips, if Uncle Paulie remembers Scoob and the rest of the family, I want to say the Dome Patrol's defensive coordinator. Dome Patrol. The Saints Dome Patrol was Wade Phillips. He was the defensive coordinator over the Dome Patrol. I want to say that. Y'all correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. But I want to say Wade Phillips, he was the D coordinator. Let me pull this up to him just to make sure. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm pretty sure he was the Dome Patrol. He was the coordinator over the Dome Patrol back in the day. Y'all let me know if I'm right in the chat here. Because I remember he was, I want to say that. No, he wasn't. Steve Sitwell was. Okay. But I want to say when I'm thinking Wade Phillips, he was in there some kind of way. I want to say he was around there some kind of way. Steve Sitwell, they saying was. Let me see here. Let me just look this up right quick, family. I got a scratch. I need to itch. I need to scratch. Let's see. Dome Patrol linebacker core during the 80s, 90s under Coach Morit formed the second level defensive coordinator Steve Sitwell. Okay, 3-4 defense. Among the most formidable. And I want to say, wasn't Wade Phillips in there somewhere? I want to say he was around here. I ain't gonna take the time to look at it right now. Y'all let me know in the chat where I'm at with that, because I want to say he was some kind of way around the Saints Dome Patrol in a late. I'm gonna check on it. That just spurred my mind. JC, I would love to see Wade Phillips. Jermaine said the Saints gave that man a nice payday, 57.5, baby. Let's see, Andrus. He's Mr. Soft Serve. Shaking my head, says Crass. Kevin says dog meat cute. Let me tell you something, Kev. You gotta give him credit, bro. He had that he had the forearm problems. He played through it. He had a busted hand. He played from. How you call a man that had a broken hand and played with a broken hand and came back early from that forearm injury to play in the game soft? I just don't understand. How is he soft serve? Now I'll let you have that one with Traquan Smith, but you can't call Andrus Pete soft serve, bro. You can call him a lot of stuff, but you can't call him soft serve, bro. The man played with a busted hand, bro. Many people that just took that and set their ass down. You know it, and I both know it. I can't call that man soft serve, bro. And he played with a broken ass hand. I can't do that, bro. I'm sorry, I can't do that, bro. I gotta let you have that one, Jim Kell. All right, let's keep it going here, fam. Let me run on through here. Another fluke injury for Pete, huh? And that's what Crass said. Donald says, I don't think it's that serious, though. You know, we'll see, bro. It's still early, man. This just dropped. Let's see what this look like over the next few days here before we get all in uproar about it, because we don't know. Kevin said these dudes soft now. Ronnie let his fingers cut off. Just crying, my hand hurts. Get the hell up out of here. Adrian, who that to you, Adrian? Who that to you? Good to see you in the chat as well. Big ups to you, that dude, though. Who that to you, that one dude, though. Who that to you, fam? Good to see you in the chat, man. Welcome to the stream. Please feel free to subscribe if you're not a subscriber and join the great Saint Think Tank, fam. Welcome. Lane Justice. What up, Lane? Long time no see, family. Good to see you in here, bro. Good to see you. All right, Kevin says, man, I'm seeing a lot of season-ending injuries. Those missed off-season trainings coming back to hurt us. That's true. Lane says, feels great to be here. That's right, Lane. Among friends. Jason says, bruh, for $9 or $10 million, I'll play with 2 broke arms. And you don't have to play for but 2 years. The logic is like it's insane. You know, like if a logical minded person who had, you know, a super level, a high level of defense, and I've seen players do this before. Like, say, for instance, you'll have a guy that'll play in the league, right? He'll play in the football league, and then he'll play for 3 or 4 years. He'll retire. People are like, man, why you retire? Why you quit? Man, I'm worth $50 million. Why would I need to keep playing football? I'm $50 million rich. I ain't even hit my 30s yet. You know, my family's taken care of. I had a great plan. I'm done. You know, and be like, man, you crazy. You should have played some more football. Man, you crazy, man. $50 million rich. And I never got that. It's like, man, okay, you keep your mind because, you know, it's a dangerous sport. Those concussions add up. The leg injuries, arm injuries, all that stuff. And, you know, you get all that big payday and you be like, man, yeah. And some people get kind of taken over with by the money. They throwing all them zeros in the computers at you. And you're like, oh, man, I'm going to just keep doing this until I fall off the planet. But some people don't think like that. Some people do, some people don't, you know. You know, me personally, if I played, the man say, okay, I'm going to pay you $12 million, Q, you get $5 million to $12 million, 3 or 4 seasons worth of service. My contract is up, I'm out the door. Don't come calling me no more. If we ain't get it then, we ain't going to get it. I'm done, man. Don't call. Q, come on back, man. I'll give you another $3 million. Nah, dude, I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm going to go over here with my chillins. I'm going to go over here and stir some beans and try not to burn the beans. You know what I mean? That's my saying now. That's the life saying of Big Q. Watch out for the shirt coming out. It's called Try Not to Burn the Beans. That's right, y'all. That's right. We got the dad slap. That's right. And now the new terminology is don't burn the beans. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to come over here. I'm going to get the money. I'm going to sit over here and say, you know what? Try not to burn the beans. That's what I'm going to do. Sit up here on the Great Saint think tank and talk to the family members and keep telling them I'm trying not to burn the beans. That's what I'm going to tell y'all. Bottom line. Get the shirt. Don't burn the beans. I'm trying not to burn the beans. All right, let's keep it going. Hit the like button. Thank you, Dada. Gundam says, who that? Who that to you? Gundam. Who that, baby? All right. JT said, anyone can get hurt. Now I'm hurt, but I'm going to be ready for the regular season. There you're right, JT. Yeah, you're right. All right. All right, Gundam says, Big Q, little off topic, but I'm a little frustrated with the NFL Network because Dallas Cowgirls news is dominating the show. They show very little of the Saints updates. Why? Well, you know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Gundam, bro. I'm glad that they do that. You know why? Because the NFL Network and several other the big people, the ESPNs of the day, didn't cover the Saints, and that made me upset enough to get up here and put the show together. You know, and put the sports comb. And we would not be having that if I have to thank the NFL Network for that. Matter of fact, you know, we're going to play a hand clap. We're going to get the special effects out for their ass. And we're going to thank the NFL Network for being such slouches on covering the Saints like they're supposed to do. We're going to bring it out because we know they really dropped the ball. But I thank them. Thank you, NFL Network. You know, let's do that again. Clap one more time for me. Come on. You know, like I always like to say, church, clap like you're at church. Clap like you're at church. One more time for me. That's right. That's right. That's for the rotten NFL Network that cover the Saints as less as possible. They talk about the Cowgirls, the awful Jets, the awful Giants, the awful Rams. They talk about all the big people, and now they riding Kansas City, Jock. Kansas City get a Super Bowl first one since the 60s. since Super Bowl number 2. Man, it's 50-something Super Bowls. But that's the thing. That's what they do. Anything not to talk about your ass. That's all right. That's why there's a sports coma here. That's right. That's right. It's the revenge of the sports coma on top of their head. That's what it is. Donald says Wade is outstanding, though. Gundam said, okay, and that's my answer, Gundam. You know, I appreciate him not doing it because we wouldn't be here talking about this and I wouldn't know you guys. I mean, imagine that. In a parallel world, in a universe, in reality, there's no sports coma. It might be going on, but it might be the sports coma of the Dallas Cowboys, the sports coma of the New York Giants, the sports coma of the Kansas City Chiefs. You see what I'm saying? But I'm happy that in this reality, there is a sports coma of the New Orleans Saints, baby. We talking about that diehard black and gold, baby. And I would never have been able to meet Derek, School, Gundam, Lane, Donald, Dada. None of y'all, man. Did you understand what I just said? I mean, thank you, NFL Network, for doing what you do. or doing what you don't do, or doing however you want to phrase it. Thank your rotten ass for it. All right, let's keep it going here, brother. T.T. Tucker, the peanut plucker. Vic Fangio, thank you, bro. Appreciate the comment in there. And welcome to the live stream, my friend. Appreciate you joining us. I would thought Vic Fangio too at first. I had slickly looked it up while I was going over in my head because I was trying to find out what was the relationship of Wade Phillips because I knew he was somewhere along in there. But I know Vic Fangio was in the mix of it. I think he was underneath. I'm going to have to look up the defensive coordinator because we know about the Dome Patrol, and even Singletary of the Bears said it was the greatest defense that ever was. If they had an offense, they would have won multiple Super Bowls. That was Singletary said about the Saints when they did that special on them years ago. But the thing is, I never remember who was the defensive coordinator. And I remember I was like, man, how do I not know the defensive coordinator of the Dome Patrol? That dude you should know him off top like you know Mara. This dude was the defensive coordinator of the Dome Patrol. So, I mean, but it just wasn't the case. But according to what I researched, they stated it was Steve Sidwell. Now, I don't know if I think Fangio was on that team. I think Phillips was on there. They just had lesser roles, so I'm going to look it up eventually, bro. We're going to look at it. All right. Because remember, Bum Phillips. Yeah, you're right. Bum Phillips was on this team. Who said that? Bum Phillips. JC said Bum Phillips, his father. Maybe you're thinking about his father. No, Bum Phillips was on the team, but he had Wade Phillips on the team too. He had his son. Bum had his son on the team. It was some real. Hold on here. I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna find out, fam. I'm gonna pull it up because that's only one way to get to the bottom of this, and let's do a little research right quick. So y'all just have to excuse me for a second while I look up Wade Phillips, his coaching resume. I'm gonna see if I can put it up here on the screen too, so we can get this figured out because this was something that kind of plagued me, man. I was thinking about Wade Phillips, like, man, Wade Phillips been around for a very long time. He was on his father's team back in the 80s when Bum Phillips was there. And he kind of been in that line the whole time. That man been in here for a long time. I'm looking at his coaching results right here. Give me a second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys so y'all will know like I know about Wade Phillips, okay? Give me a second. Let me see if I can enlarge this. All right. Hold on here. Okay, let me put that back because the ad's getting away. All right. At least we'll figure that out, family. At least we'll figure out, the mystery of who was the damn coordinator. We know it's Steve Sidwell. Now look, 1985 now. He was here in 1985. Okay, he was gone. He was here 85. Then there's what was it? It's saying what here? Let me see. It's saying he spent 1 year with the Saints. He spent 1 year with the Saints. And that was in 1985. Okay, so he was with New Orleans. Then he was in Houston. Then he was in Atlanta. All for 1 year. 1 year New Orleans, 1 year Houston, 1 year Atlanta, 2 years Denver, 3 years Buffalo, 4 years Dallas, and then it goes on and on and on and on and on and on. So he started off when he was 38 years of age. And then up until, let me see, it's not the rest of it. It stopped at 2013. Let me see here. Hold on, that's not true. They're showing this roll here. They're saying that 81. Okay, that's the rankings. Okay, I see what they're doing. Okay, now this is this entire thing down here. This dude, look at this dude. This dude, New Orleans, Houston, Atlanta, Denver, Atlanta, Philly, Rams, Chargers, Houston, Buffalo, Dallas, and then he went to, what's that? That can't be us, is it? 5 years. What's this? What's NOR here? That can't be us. That ain't right. That's not right. But anyway, y'all know. Oh, that's the Rams. Okay, they just put the wrong thing right there. That's the Rams. So he went San Diego. What's that? 21. Dallas, Houston, Denver, Rams. That dude old as dirt, man. Old as dirt. But they say 1 year, family, 85. I'm gonna keep looking it up though. I'm not satisfied with that information. I'm going to keep looking up. Who that to you, Derek? Derek Allison in the building. Who that to my dog, Derek? Good to see you, family. In the chat as well. Much love to you, my bro. Hope you safe out there, bro. All right. Kevin says Wade Phillips was an interim coach for the Saints 85-86 season. Thank you. Thank you, Kevin, GM Kev. Donald says Vic Fangio is probably the best linebackers coach ever. Yeah, he was pretty talented. T.T. Tucker, the peanut plucker, says, man, if the O-line keep Brees clean and the defense could be in the top 10, I love us partying with the Lombardi, baby. That's right. 2 Super Bowls all out of the state of Florida. Wouldn't that be lovely? And to take it from Tom Brady in his own backyard will be even extra sweeter. That'll be so sweet. True Louisiana said it was Steve Sitwell over the Dome Patrol, so it wasn't Phillips or Fangio, okay? Lee says Wade stepped in as interim coach from D.C. when Bum retired. Donald says, say, fam, who would you take, Patrick Willis or Ray Lewis? Ray Lewis, hands down. But listen, if Patrick Willis would have played longer, because he retired 7 years, 7 Pro Bowls. If he would have kept playing, you never know what he could do, because Patrick Willis was a hell of a player, man. He was one of them guys I was thinking about when I made that analogy earlier. It was like, man, why did you quit playing? Man, I'm done, man. It's over with. 7 years of physical football, one of the top linebackers of my craft. I'm done. It's over with. It's like Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly was like, man, you know, people took off by surprise by Luke Kuechly retiring. You can only take so much of people hitting you upside your head and falling out and all this kind of stuff. And then you sitting up there, rich as a dog, rolling out, going up there, questioning yourself, why I'm getting beat up every oh, because of the money. Well, sooner or later, it's going to hit you in the head. Say, man, you got enough money, fool. Cut this out. Don't you got children somewhere? That's true. No matter how much money you got, you can't turn the clock back, man. You know, if you're fortunate to have that money and them children, man, make a life of balance. That's all I can say. Some people, man, they make that mistake. You know, you can't get that time back. But yeah, if Pat Willis kept playing, I take Pat Willis. But Ray Lewis, no, hands down, bro, hands down. Because I think Pat Willis, if he'd have kept playing, I think ultimately he probably would end up somewhere with a Super Bowl or maybe 2 of them. He stopped after 7 years. Ray Lewis is if you talk about best middle linebackers ever, you got to put Ray Lewis up there. I don't know, and you could throw some other names out there. You could talk about greats like Michael Singletary and guys like that. I don't know Uncle Paulie could throw a few of them out there. But when you're talking about Ray Lewis is one of the best that ever did it. Almost like we was thinking about Ed Reed the other day. We was talking about Ed Reed's up there with Ronnie Lott. And I don't put too many people up there with Ronnie Lott. Ronnie Lott up there, and then you put Ed Reed right up there with him. And it's the same thing with Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis is way up there, man. When you talk about middle linebackers, Ray Lewis is way up there, man. So I would have to say, Donald, you asked me that question, I'll take Ray Lewis, man. If Pat Willis kept playing, bro, you never know what he had ended up. All right. Lee says he'll take LT. All right. Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother thing. You know, that's a whole nother level. Because you're talking inside linebacker. You're saying linebackers, period. Lawrence Taylor is the standard. But when you're talking middle linebackers, if I'm talking exclusive middle linebackers, that's up there. Ray Lewis is up there. If we talking like outside linebackers, ain't no doubt about it. LT, hands down, he's the gold standard that everybody wants to look to. Now, a lot of these younger guys, they forget to talk about him. They talk about some of the current guys and all that. But, man, let me tell you something. Them dudes can't hold a stick to Lawrence Taylor. He was the man. He was the man and dominated. You know, he just a great, great player. All right, let's keep it going here, fam. Let's get through it. 504 Easy. What's happening, fam? Good to see you in the chat. What's good? What's happening? All right, Scoop says Wade coached the Saints in 85. Thank you, Scoop. Appreciate that, bro. All right, let's keep it good. Lee says Bum was head coach and Wade ran the defense. Okay, thank you. Okay, that's what it was. Okay, all right, thank you. He had his son running the defense. You want to talk about nepotism? Oh man, True Lisa said, I wonder why Steve Sitwell where is Steve Sitwell these days? I don't know. Donald says Vic Fangio was the linebackers coach. Okay, thank you, Donald. All right, CJ said, what up, CJ? Who that? He says Wade was the coach while his daddy left. Okay, thank you, CJ. Appreciate you. And who that to you, bro? Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. He said before more. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that. Give Wade a call. Might have to, man. I mean, he's really talented, but he don't stay well. That's the thing. He has that Rob Ryan effect. Like he'll get there the first year or 2 or 3, and then after that it'll fall apart because he don't have no discipline. He can't stick and stay nowhere too long. If you bring him in there for a little bit, he good, and then let you 3 and 4, year 3, 4, and 5, everybody falling out of the place, everybody undisciplined. He's just not that kind of coach. All right, let's see. Kevin says, well, older years after Ray Lewis hit, you would pray for you. That's right. Ray Lewis was terrible. Donald says, Bobby Wagner outplayed Luke Kuechly, though. That's hard to say. Bobby is outstanding, though. Yeah, Bobby Wagner is good. Don't get me wrong. Bobby's good. You know what I'm saying? I give it to Bobby Wagner. He's still playing, though. Brian Urlacher's another dude you would think about. Kev says Ray was a beast on the field and off, unfortunately. 504 Easy says Junior Seau. That's another really good linebacker up there. But still, Lawrence Taylor is way above all those guys, man. It's just, if you look at his statistics and what he do, you talk almost like him, like people talk about a Reggie White. If you had built an all-dominate, kick-your-ass football team, on that defensive line, you got Reggie White. One of them linebackers is going to be Lawrence Taylor. Deion is going to be a cornerback, and Ronnie Lott would be a safety on that all-time kick-your-ass pro football team. I'm just keep you. Ronnie Lott, Reggie White, and Lawrence Taylor got a spot on that starting lineup on that team. Donald says Urlacher was so underrated. Man, dude was a beast, outstanding football player. He was very talented. In the heart and soul of that for that Chicago defense for a very long time, man. Tro Blue says Wade was a defensive assistant, I think. Kevin says it was Pluto. Ramsey says, hey, Q, I remember how much of a dog Dexter Manley was. Yes, I remember Dexter Manley. For the Redskins. Yep. For the old Washington team. Yep, Manley was a fool, bro. Dexter Manley was a fool. So was Charles Mann. Charles Mann was some too. These old guys back in the day. That get on Uncle Paulie fired up, you start talking about that. Tragic 504, who that to your fam, says Nick Easton lives to see another season. That old lucky Nick Easton. Well, just for a little bit anyway. We don't know the extent of it. We'll see. Jason says Lawrence Taylor never played with a broken face like Ricky Jackson did. That's true. Ricky Jackson did, and Ricky did get a Super Bowl. But if you compare their stats, just stat speaking wise, we're going to go with Ricky anyway because that's our diehard boy. But when you look at statistics, Lawrence Taylor those two dudes were special. It's hard to reference them. It's just that Lawrence Taylor played in the Big Apple and people was able to witness his greatness on a grander stage, being that it was the media capital of the world. So you knew when Lawrence Taylor was turning it up. I see you, Scooby, says Kevin Green, Mike Singletary. Those are all terrific players. They really are, bro. Those are top players. Top 15. All y'all mentioned is top 15 guys that ever to do it out of all the hundreds of thousands of people that came through the NFL. We talking about guys that's the top 20 and north of top 20 players at their positions. Truly, as I say, as a kid, I was a huge Gene Seau fan and wanted him to end up with the Saints one day. Yeah, Seau was something else, man, out there, playing with Rodney Harrison and Bird and the rest of those guys. Leslie O'Neal and the rest of them dudes out there. Yeah, they were a tough team. They made it to the Super Bowl, got their butts spanked, but Junior Seau was a great player, man. Sad how his career ended, man. Very sad. JT says, Q, do you remember Derrick Brooks? Yes, I do, sir. I remember Derrick Brooks used to cause us a lot of pain back in the day. A lot of pain. We could barely stop Derrick Brooks. I was happy to see him retire. Yeah, but I remember him, JT. 504 Easy says Steve Atwater, another wildebeest. These are great players indeed. Lee says Dexter Manley deserves the Hall of Fame too. Yeah, Manley was a beast, man. He was a beast of epic proportions, man. I just got it. These were great players, man. Great players. And Redskins won several championships with the Washington team back in the day when it was Dexter Manley and Dexter Manley and who else was on that team, man? Several players, man. The name escapes me right now, but man, that was a fierce Washington team, man. Nobody wanted part of them. Donald says Derek Woods was another one. Yeah, Derek Brooks was another one. Yeah, you're right. Derek Brooks was something serious, man. He was something serious there on that Tampa defense, man. Lee Wood said Joe Klecko made all three different positions. True Louisiana said I couldn't stand Derek Brooks. Brooks was a pain in the ass. You couldn't do nothing with him. You couldn't do a darn thing with him. All right, family, we're getting close to the end of the show. But before I let you guys go, I want to be able to just go over something with you guys right quick. I'm going to play something for you right quick. If you just give me a second, let me get it all situated. Because I heard this last week, and I wanted to kind of, I guess, cover this on the show, but it just kind of beyond me, you know, with all the stuff that was happening with El Gentry and all this other stuff. You know, I thought about it's like, man, I'm going to have to come back to it. So I had it saved in my computer, and I seen it. So I said, you know what? Let me come on back to it. Let me come on back to it. So if you don't mind, I'm going to just give me a second. I'm going to draw it and pull it up so that we can see it. And you guys, I know you guys probably heard about this before, but this was with a debate with on First Take with Stephen A. Smith and Kellerman over DeAndre Hopkins. And I just want Hopkins and Mike Thomas. Remember, we did this a while ago. We do this. This is what we do over here at the Sports Coma. So I'm going to play this thing. I can't show it for obvious reasons. But I'm going to play this, and then I'm going to react off of this and just listen to this. It's just really insane.
Is the most clutch receiver?
For me, before we go to Keyshawn, for me, it would be DeAndre Hopkins is an absolute stud. I got nothing but love for him. But I'm going to go with Michael Thomas. And the reason I'm going to go with Michael Thomas is that 149 receptions, 1,700 plus yards last year. Over the last 2 years, 274 receptions. Oh, by the way, the completion percentage from when Drew Brees targets him to throw him the football, it was 85% in 2019.
Insane.
When he was when he was targeted, he caught the catch. Last year was 80%. I mean, this brother is something special. Make no mistake about it. I know DeAndre Hopkins is that stud, and if you want to blame Bill O'Brien and what's going on in Houston as a reason why I don't feel like he is that dude to that degree, I guess you can. But I think that from a numbers perspective, no matter what the situation calls for, when you know it's time for Michael Thomas to get the ball, he usually gets it. He usually makes it happen. That's the name that comes to my mind first. It would be Michael Thomas.
Common sense, right?
Well, what I would say is, Max, you're going to have to take one to the gut real quick. I'm going to have to go with Stephen A. on this one. My nephew can't guard Mike, New Orleans Saints. I mean, Stephen A. gave you all the statistics. I don't need to go over that again. But when you look at his production, he can't be guarded no matter what. He didn't have any other receivers opposite of him in New Orleans at all. I mean, he has a Ted Ginn Jr., but outside of that, he's been dominating things pretty much on his own. Every single time they throw him the football, he's grabbing it. He's catching it. He's muscling dudes. Yeah, people say he may not be the fastest wide receiver in the National Football League, but you don't have to be Tyreek Hill to be productive. And he is extremely productive. They know he's getting the football, and they still can't stop him. 149? I mean, that's absurd. I don't care how many times they throw you the damn ball and target you. To catch 149 balls, man, or whatever it was, 140-something, is ridiculous.
It's 149.
It makes no sense. And DeAndre Hopkins, along with Julio Jones and OBJ, it's a whole bunch of primetime players that can get off and get down in the National Football League. But if I'm looking for a dude to score touchdowns and move them chains at a high level, it's my nephew. And there's no nepotism, it's just real facts.
Well, listen, Max, the other thing that I would say to you is this. Hold on, Max. You've applauded New Orleans. They were your team to come out of the South, even though we've been saying all that we've been saying about Tampa Bay and the multitude of offensive weapons that Brady will have at his disposal. All right? Emmanuel Sanders going there, for example, is a very, very big deal to you. Why? Because Michael Thomas is already there. That's why. And guess what? He's also prolonged the career of Drew Brees, because without him, I think Drew Brees might have been gone already.
Michael Thomas is a very good pick as the most clutch receiver. I would give the edge to Hopkins, but Keyshawn, you're arguing like best receiver. If you ask me really who the best receiver is, I have to go with Julio Jones. That's the guy I would take overall. But at most clutch.
I like Julio Jones, but I also know what Michael Thomas gives you. Okay, he doesn't drop the ball. You don't have to worry about that. He's picking balls up off his shoelaces. I mean, guys don't do that in the National Football League, Max. Not only that, again.
But
there is no receiver opposite of him. There is no receiver. He doesn't have Will Fuller opposite of him. But hold on, Keyshawn. I hear you. Not like Hopkins was in a great receiving corps. But the fact of the matter remains, and there's not a lot to choose from. When Will Fuller was on the field, Will Fuller is a threat to lift the coverage.
There's not a lot to choose from between the two, so then go to other things. While obviously DeAndre Hopkins had an excellent quarterback throwing him the ball, Michael Thomas had the most accurate quarterback who ever lived, basically, throwing him the ball.
But you make the quarterback better because you don't drop the balls, Max. You make them better.
But no matter who Drew Brees is throwing to,
catch radius. He can put it anywhere because of the catch radius. And so you make a quarterback look more superior in terms of the targets and the completion percentage than what they truly are sometimes.
And Max.
No, but Drew Brees is accurate going to everyone. And also, we have to address the clutch. The clutch, guys, when the game's on the line. Michael Thomas is excellent. So is Hopkins. He does not drop the ball
look, Max,
ever.
The argument,
clutch.
Look, Max, hold
Actually,
on
literally clutch.
Max,
he clutches
The argument isn't that DeAndre Hopkins isn't clutch. He's ridiculous. I watched him in the playoffs. I know what he can do. But I prefer my nephew over that. That's all I'm saying. It's like if you're drafting on a board, and you got Julio Jones, Michael Thomas, DeAndre Hopkins, all three of them, and one of them go, you ain't mad if the other one fall to you. You just as happy.
No doubt. What I'm saying is you're making the argument that Michael Thomas is a better overall receiver.
Yes.
I'm talking about with the game on the line.
No, he's not.
Who do I want
no,
to
he's
throw
not.
to? Hopkins.
But Max, to me, doesn't
with
mean
the game on the line, who do I want to throw to? Hopkins. Listen, let me finish it up.
You have to draft him. I like him. To me, he is. I like his route running. I like his catch radius. I like his toughness, his ability to compete at all levels all the time. That's what I look for. I don't get caught up in the statistical side of it.
I do, because that's what matters, Keyshawn.
I can go any way on statistics and make an argument point based on how many receptions, how many targets, how many touchdowns, how many yards after the catch. I can do all of those sort of things. It's a matchup nightmare to have, is all I'm saying.
If a man catches 274 passes over the last 2 years,
NFL
and at
record,
least
by the way.
80% of the time you target him, he's connected. I don't know how you get more clutch than that.
That is the definition of clutch.
Well, what you're saying is he's always excellent. What I'm saying is...
what I'm saying is what the hell I just said.
By the way, the answer for Michael Thomas is yes, he does.
I'm not Max Kellerman. They don't have... I'm not Max Kellerman. America doesn't have to have...
That's what kind of foolishness, man, that you're dealing with at ESPN. That's what I'm talking. That kind of foolishness. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? DeAndre Hopkins. I just showed y'all guys the statistics that we dug up. We had to put the statistics together. Nobody else seemed like they wanted to do it. So we went and put them together. And you can go back and watch the video called Who's the Best Wide Receiver in the NFL that was done on this channel. We released it in July, I think, late July. So you can go back and look it up or Google it, YouTube it, or whatever you want to call it. 470 catches. Now, you can only judge this, and I'm going to say this because you're right. You can bend statistics any kind of way. You could try to bend statistics all you want. You can go to the second and third and the fourth layer of statistics to try to make a point. The reality of this, it's all about catches. You cannot get away from catches. That's how they're paid. That's how they have leverage. It's about production. It's about catches. Getting catches brings you yards. Getting catches brings you touchdowns. In that mindset, I'm not being biased to Mike, but over the last let's say the first 2 years of Mike Thomas's career, he caught more passes than any wide receiver in the NFL. That means Jerry Rice. That means Chris Carter. That means Steve Largent. That means Marvin Harrison. That means all of those men. There was nobody that caught as many passes over a 2-year span. That was his first 2 years. Then he did it again. In 3 years, there was no other wide receiver that caught more passes than Mike Thomas. That includes guys like DeAndre Hopkins and Julio Jones and even the guys sitting in the Hall of Fame. Over 4 years, it's the same damn thing over and over again. How do you pick DeAndre Hopkins when the numbers don't fit there? You talking about clutch, you moron. The literal example, the meaning of the word clutch is what Mike Thomas does. No wide receiver has done what he's done. Now, let me explain this because you got a lot of people that gave me feedback from other teams about, man, you wrong on this. Let me tell you something, bro. It's cool for you to like or say whoever you're going to like. I can say whoever I like. I don't give it. The likes don't have a damn thing to do with the question. The question is not answered on opinion. It's answered on stats and facts that you cannot get around. I don't care who you are. You cannot get around the fact that nobody in the amount of time that Mike Thomas has been in the league, because you can only judge him based in comparison to other guys like Hopkins and Julio Jones, based on how many years he's been in the league and his production in those years in the league. That's all you can do. Based on the statistics that we did, that's in that video, we put together a chart that showed you catches, yards, the yards based off the catch and touchdowns. Mike Thomas, in all of the years that he's been in the NFL, he has 470 catches. 470 catches. In the years that he's been in the NFL, that is a record. There has never been in the history of the NFL any wide receiver, I don't care if it's Hopkins or Jones or even Jerry Rice, there's never been another wide receiver that has caught more passes than Mike Thomas. Q, is the rest of those guys great? Yeah, they're great, but let me explain greatness. There is levels to greatness just like there are levels to every damn thing else. You know it and I know it. Explain, Q. Let me take it to basketball where people are not as confused to who's great, what greatness is. The majority of the people will tell you who's the greatest basketball player to ever play the game. Who? Michael Jordan. They will say that. He dominated. He whipped tail. He had the killer instinct. He was a guy that did whatever. He even punched teammates in the face when they didn't do what they were supposed to do. He played sick. You know, people will tell you Michael Jordan is that dude, right? He's great, right? All right. But let's name some other great players that played during the time Jordan played. Was Dominique Wilkins great? Yes. Was Larry Bird great? Yes. Was Magic Johnson great? Yes. Was Charles Barkley great? Yes. Was John Stockton great? Yes. Was Karl Malone great? Yes. Was Patrick Ewing great? Yes. Was Reggie Lewis great? Yes. You can go on and on and on about the great players that played during that time frame. And Jordan sits above them all. Why? Because there's levels to greatness. There's levels of great. He's the greatest of the great is what I'm saying. He is the master of the masters. Because there's levels to this stuff. You can't put them on the same line. The statistics indicate, and I'm talking about stats and facts. I'm not talking about opinions. 470 catches, and I'm going to put this shit to bed tonight, and I'm not dealing with it no more. But that just shows you how foolish. They could have put up the chart, the same chart I put up. They could have done it. They could have made their own chart. They're worth millions of dollars, right? They could have put up their own chart that showed you the same stuff that I showed you. That Mike Thomas has 470 receptions. No wide receiver ever. Screw Hopkins or Jones. You throw Jerry Rice or Chris Carter or any of these guys in it, they didn't come close to what he was. Nobody done that. And my point is, another point I like to throw at Hopkins or Julio Jones is if you are so great and you're great, but you're not the greatest of the great is what I'm telling you. If you were so great, why didn't you take the single season catch record down that stood for almost 20 years? Huh? You had 3 or 4 extra years over Mike Thomas to do it. You could never do it. You didn't even get close. Then you say, well, then they chumps and cowards run up here and say, oh, if DeAndre Hopkins would have had Drew Brees, he would have got it. If Julio Jones would have had Drew Brees. See, that's what kind of chump and moron foolish type of stuff that if somebody tell you that, just turn around, from them and walk away. If you're on the phone with them, just hang up in their face. Hang up in their damn face. Because that's not a part of it. We're not going to bring fantasy in this. Fantasy don't have nothing to do with this. This is reality. You're not going to bend or gaslight your way into a win. It's ridiculous. Mike Thomas has 470 catches. Let me quantify that. That is more catches than any wide receiver that ever did it. That's in the entire NFL's 100-year history, okay? There is nobody that means that's a whole nother pinnacle of greatness that no one ever achieved before that this kid is on right now. And he's still a pup in the game, damn near. Now, let's look at the rest of his people that they're putting up under him who are also great, but he's the greatest of the great. Contrast the 470 catches during his career with the next guy in line. The next guy in line that has that you compare them to is DeAndre Hopkins. Do you want to know how many catches Hopkins has over the same span of time? 393 catches. 393 catches. Thomas has 470. Hopkins has 393. That's almost 100 more catches than Hopkins, who's not a slouch. Come on. He catches the majority of the passes you throw at him, and add the fact that he's doubled and triple teamed most of the time. How do you do that? Unless you're the greatest of the great, baby. Let's look at Julio Jones, who can't even stay healthy. Julio Jones had 383 catches, so he was 10 beneath Hopkins. So if we talking statistics, and we talking stats, and we talking catches, not only does Mike has more catches than any other wide receiver within the time span of years that he's been in the league, including his peers, which are really not his peers because he's above them. But he also, it's just utterly ridiculous, man. It's utterly ridiculous. It's ridiculous, man. DeAndre Hopkins needs to be ashamed of himself, and Julio Jones too. Those guys have been in the league a lot longer than Mike Thomas had. They had a lot more ability to be able to do what Mike Thomas is doing. But you got to give him his credit. That you couldn't do it. You wasn't catching that many passes in the time frame that you was doing them. Or Julio Jones, you wish to do what he doing. You can't even stay healthy. And sooner or later, they're going to move the Ridley right past your ass. Watch and see. But the thing is, Mike Thomas continues not to get the respect that he deserves, despite the fact that everything he's done is record-breaking. 2 years more catches, 3 years more catches, 4 years more catches, and they're still saying Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins are in the same league? Nah, not even close. You look at the overall yardage because listen, Mike is not, thank you, Cap, man. Appreciate the donation. First of all, Mike is not even a deep ball wide receiver, right? 470 catches. DeAndre Hopkins goes for the deep ball all the time. So does Julio Jones. We know this. He has 5,512 yards. Hopkins is a deep ball guy, has 5,069 yards, and Hopkins catches the deep ball. Both guys are number one options of their team. I don't care what kind of quarterbacks they had. Where you ended up is where you ended up. I don't care if you had a shitty quarterback and you ain't have Drew Brees. That's not the point. I'm not engaged in fantasy land talk. I'm talking facts and stats. The bottom line is this man had 5,500 yards, receiving yards now, Mike Thomas, and he's not even a deep ball guy. Come on. Deep ball man, Hopkins had 5,069 yards. Family, that's 400 more yards, catching yards that he have over Hopkins, who's a deep ball guy. So it's not only is he kicking his ass with almost 100 catches more, but he's also beating him with almost 400 yards more, over 400 yards more in receiving yardage. Now, you can say Hopkins got him with the touchdowns over the because he got 35 versus 32. So he beaten him by 3 touchdowns in that same time span. Julio Jones has 23 touchdowns bases. Michael's 32 and Hopkins 35. It's crazy. But Julio does have 5,900 passing yards, which is more than both men, beating Mike by about 300-400 yards. But the reality at the end of the day is this, regardless of not, don't get it twisted, Mike is the best wide receiver in the game. And the fact that he don't catch, that he's doing all of this, not catching it deep, should tell you something. Because people are so batshit crazy with deep wide receivers catching the ball. Like that's uber greatness. That's greatness. They call up in the finesse stuff. And this guy quietly goes about his business, stackpiling 470 catches over the time span that he's played, and nobody not even close to that. Hopkins in that span is 393. That dude almost back by almost 100 catches behind this man in the same time span. Absolutely amazing. That's why ESPN is a joke. That's why, because you have a boxing analyst up there who don't know shit from Shinola about football or basketball. If you want to talk to Max Kellerman, talk about boxing. You know why? Because I know boxing. And I'm telling you, Max knows boxing. That's where he came from when he used to work with HBO and all them other networks. He don't know shit from Shinola about basketball or football, and that kind of commentary is utterly ridiculous. And I don't think Max is that stupid, by the way. I think he's playing contrarian. That's what I think it is. Because nobody would say clutch and not pick Mike Thomas, and you would pick both his adversaries. Both of them, he beating them both ways in percentages catching the ball. How do you not pick him? I'm talking about clutch. It's just no. But that's why they're a joke, fam. That's why there's a sports coma. I just want to throw that in there. That's why there's a sports coma. And I'm not taking up for Mike because he's a black and gold man like myself. It's because it's facts, baby. The statistics yell it. Not opinion, stats. All right, family. I done did my thing right down and ran off into the deep end on that one. But every time I get upset when I hear that foolishness about them, and that's why ESPN is a goddamn joke. And that's why you need to turn them off and take them and turn them off and disown their asses. That's what you need to do, because they don't know nothing about no football up there. Neither Stephen A. a little bit better, but it's absolutely a joke. You could have did the same research I did and found out, and stay your ass off of their opinionating. If you opinionate, that's fine. Go opinionate in your living room somewhere. I don't want to hear it. But when you get up there and start talking facts, don't expect people not to challenge you out. I like my opinion. I don't care about your opinion. I'm talking about the statistics. Who's better? Because I really want to know who is better. So I went and did the facts. I did the research. And the guy is killing these guys. They're close to him on the touchdowns, and Julio got more receiving yards, but he's blasting Julio Jones' ass out of existence too with the catches. And Julio can't stay healthy. Can we give him a big ups for not missing a game, even with a broken hand? All these other guys missing games. Hopkins missed game. Julio Jones missing games. But you got DeAndre Hopkins comes out and said, oh, well, I wanted to get in that discussion. What the hell you gonna do? What you gonna do? Huh? What you gonna do? You ain't going to do nothing. You know why? Because you ain't done nothing in terms of keeping up with this guy. You can go and brag and you better than Julio and the rest of half the league, or 75 to 80% of the league, but you better stay away from Mike, because you don't have nothing for Mike. You spent 3 or 4 years extra in the league and still couldn't do what he did. So y'all in y'all feelings now because the young buck coming along showing y'all up? The only excuse, family, is the fact that he has Drew Brees. He got Drew Brees. If DeAndre Hopkins had Drew Brees, he would have did the same thing. If this other clown over here would have had him, he'd have done the same thing, Q. Man, shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Fantasy or fantasy land garbage, man. Cut it out. You are where you are. You still a first option. And if you're a first option, you're supposed to represent, I don't care who the damn quarterback is. If your quarterback got hurt, they're going to put another guy in there. Do it change your status as the number one option in the offense, Hopkins or Jones? No, it doesn't. But I'm going to tell Jones something, though, baby. And my Atlanta Falcons people out there, baby, that watch out. Because Julio Jones, he might not be the number one option soon. Calvin Ridley on the scene. And slowly but slowly, you seeing that offense shift over there because Julio Jones is hurt too much. Come on. Guess who ain't hurt too much, baby? Mike Thomas. Can't guard Mike. He ain't hurt. Hopkins. He ain't hurt. Jones. Come on, brother. Even in order to catch him, to do what he do, you can't miss games, baby. You can't be slipping in your game. See, I'm going to leave it alone. I ain't going to talk to him. I'm going to let him have it. I'm going to let him have it because guess what? They said 2 years, more catches than any wide receiver in NFL history. 3 years, more catches than wide receiver. Look it up. This is what the NFL books say. The NFL record books say he had more catches than any wide receiver in his first 2 years. Then it went from 2 to 3. Then it went from 3 to 4. Then it'll go from 5 and 6 and so on and so forth. It's going to keep going, even though we got somebody here. Now, in Emmanuel Sanders, guess what's going to happen? Mike's going to still keep catching a high percentage of the passes that's coming to him. Just saying, baby. I'm just saying. Who that to the black and gold family members, man? I'm going to represent for my team, man. We're going to spit the facts. And if the facts ain't on my side, you know I'm going to say it too. You know I'm going to say it. I ain't going to just hold it on that. All right, the rest of the family members as well. So big ups, man. Big ups to the family members. I got a little hot and heated, but you know that's good commentary for me. When I get hot and heated, family, y'all know that's must-see TV. All right, Lee says I mute sound on TV and listen to Deuce on real. I know it's terrible, man. I know. Donald says Dak Prescott didn't get the bag. Somebody gonna give him the money. And the rest, Jared, old school ESPN was fun. It was, because that's when they had the really good guys. They got these makeup reporters on there now. The only thing they care about is having their makeup right and they tie it straight. They don't care about the straight. They not doing no real reporting no more, bro. These people reading off a teleprompter. They got research divisions. And most of the time, if you got a teleprompter, there is no teleprompter here. I'm telling you coming straight up out of here, man. I stumble over words every now and again and might say the wrong word or the wrong stats, but y'all know this ain't teleprompter free. Them some bitches standing right at a teleprompter reading at you. And if they staring off and reading off that teleprompter, I guarantee you dollars to donuts, they wasn't the ones that put that whatever they reading in there. Somebody put that in there for them to read. And they just merely the soup to sit up front of them and pretend to you like they know what they're talking about. It's a con game. I've been saying that. If they confidence men, they'll sit up here and ask questions and then have the questions already laid out to the people they're asking the questions from. What you think about this? And just such and such. And it's last minute before we go, I know I have one more question to throw at you. And then that question, the last question that you want to throw out to him was a question that was on the list that he was supposed to ask him. Man, cut this foolishness out and all this plastic Hollywood TV. That's why they falling through the floor right now with their bullshit. Because they done bought, they done sold out, and then they sold out, and that's the next thing is to throw their ass out, to move them up out of here, move that old media out of here, and make way for the new media coming up in here with life and passion, and not reading off no damn teleprompters, keeping it real, talking to the people, and keeping it real with the people. That's what it's about. No agendas, just straight love and passion for football. That's what we talking about. No bull. Bottom line. All right, so I'm gonna chime on that, family. My time is done run out right here on the show. My time has ran out. I mean, you got Skip Skeletor Bayless talking. I doubt that guy could catch a football, man. Seriously, man. They say he run marathons. He might well, but I doubt that guy could catch a goddamn football. He gonna sit up there and try to talk about football. Man, shut up. You don't know that. You don't know nothing. Come on, man. Shut up. Beat writer. Shut up. You don't know a damn thing. I debate these guys on the Saints or anytime they can't get nothing straight if they don't have the teleprompter set up. They can't get it. They can't use this up in here. Come on. They can't think no more, man. The teleprompter done stole it all from them. They can't think unless somebody give them talking points. We don't deal with no goddamn talking points here. We talk about that real, baby, the real deal. And that's what's missing on it. And that's why I keep telling you it's television. Turn it off. You thought Teddy Pendergrass was telling you a long time ago to turn it off. You thought he was talking about the lights. He was telling your ass to turn the TV off. Turn it off. All right. All right, fam. Listen, I done ran out of time, man. We got a show coming up real soon. The TSC Unleashed. We breaking down the NBA playoffs. That'll be coming up in a little bit. I'll let you guys know when. Just look out for the notification. It'll be on this channel. So I wish I can go a little further with you today, but Mondays we don't usually do a show. But we getting all that back, baby. We doing it back. The family ratcheting up support. Big Q coming with it, baby. I'm coming with it. I'm knocking on your door, baby. I'm knocking on your door. He said, "Who that is out there? Who that is?" You go and open the door. It's Big Q. What's happening, baby? What's happening, man? Big Q, what's good, baby? Yeah, what's happening, baby? You ready to talk about some football? Yeah. All right, family. Listen, I'm about to get up out of here, man. I enjoyed talking to y'all today, but before I go, I got to run my little commercials and run my little ads at you just to let you know what we got going on. And just to show the family members some of the stuff, this is one of the new shirts that we had. I had the team to put together a promotional. It's called Living That Who Dat Life, baby. Real stylish, real fire, in several different sizes, colors, all kind of stuff. Women, men, children, all kind. Oh, it's just beautiful. Living That Who Dat Life. And this is the other shirt. Let's get another chip. And as you can see, the chip has the I in chip is the Super Bowl trophy, baby. It says, let's get another chip. Who dat? And that's the Who Dat chip in black. Real cold, man. Really nice gear, man. The design team stepping their game up, man. Stepping their game up, man. And I invite you guys, as you can see, they got the caps and all that at the Pro Shop family. You can check it. The link's in the description section below. Check out the merch. You can see the Drew Orleans hat that I wear in black, but they come in several different colors. You know, all kind of colors, all kind of sizes, man, hundreds. Literally, I'm serious. Hundreds of products are available. You can see the Ref You Suck shirt in that nice little, what is that? A purple pinkish. And then, of course, you see the Great Saint Think Tank masks are available. The Underdog masks are available as well. Man, we got it all for you, baby. The Drew Orleans mask, they come in several different colors, not just in black. They look good in black, but they come in white. They come in all kind of colors, man. Y'all check it out. Y'all go to the Pro Shop. Get y'all that new living that who that life. Get that, the man, get that for your woman. Get that for the wife. Y'all can one wear white, one wear black. Set it off, baby. Living that who that life. That's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, let's keep it going, man. And then, of course, if you don't know about Pro Radio, feel free to look in the link in the description section below for Pro Media Networks Pro Radio. The Sports Coma, Pelican Post Game Report, Ring King Boxing World, Tough Tiger Talk are all available at Pro Radio. Link in the description section below for you guys to chime in if you're interested. Okay, and then finally, of course, well, we have one more ad after this. Become a patron of the show. If you enjoy the Sports Coma as much as I do, man, and I really enjoy talking to you guys and having fun and keeping it real and having enlightened and entertained. I call it edutainment because we learn something and we're entertained. So I really appreciate you guys. It's beautiful. So if you really enjoy the show, become a patron. You know, you can donate as much as $1 a month. $1. I often used to ask myself when a poor, unfortunate homeless man walk up to me, say, "Man, you got 75 cents," or they would say $1, or they would say $2. I would say to myself, "Man, what is this man gonna do with $1 or $2?" Well, if you resourceful, you can do a lot with $1. I found that out. But anyway, if you're interested in become a patron and showing you enjoy the Sports Coma and the Great Saint Think Tank, and all the other platforms, all the other stuff that we do, you can help us out by becoming a patron. You can donate $1, $5, $10, $20, whatever's in your heart, man. You know, to help the platform. As you can see, we ratcheting it up. We're moving forward. We got other stuff that's coming online too. I'm telling you, family, we are a movement. Move with us, please. And of course, this is one of the sponsors of the show. We sell masks, but we also promote independent businesses. GetLifeMask.com. They're a supporter of the show. They have several masks. There's a Pelican mask, Saint mask, and a LSU Tiger mask. You know, of course, we're showing love to the locals and the Sports Coma family members. You know, that's my mindset. If you have a business and you want to be able to advertise your business to literally hundreds and thousands of people per month, you need to look this way, because we are doing that currently. Matter of fact, you can email us at the PRO Media Network at gmail.com. That's the PRO Media Network at gmail.com. GetLifeMask.com and breathe. Go to that and get the mask and breathe easy with Life Mask. 10% off on the mask with the code TheSportsComa. 10% off. So you can try that out as well. So I'd like to thank all the beautiful Black and Gold family for chiming in the show as well today. I had a lot of fun, man, and I appreciate y'all, man. I love y'all. Thank y'all for y'all support. Y'all are extra special. Listen, these shows are great because of you, because of your interaction, because the energy and the synergy that we have as a family in the Great Saint Think Tank and Who That Nation, and we continue to soar above the rest, baby. We're going to keep doing what we're doing and keep making surprises and keep being evolutionaries, baby, and keep talking strong and bold and moving forward, baby. You know how we do. We don't button our lips over here, baby. We keep it moving. But anyway, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all be safe out there. I'll see y'all tomorrow as well. TSC Q&A, it's still going on. Remember, family, TSC Q&A is a show that you get when you sign up for the Patreon and you sign up for the YouTube members. You get that special show. It's separate from our regular content. It's only for those exclusive people, for my YouTube members and our Patreon champions. They can view that show. It's a different format. You can get on there, be seen and everything. That still will be tomorrow. Remember, family, TSC Q&A. Mark your calendars. It's 6 o'clock tomorrow. TSC Q&A live on Patreon for our YouTube members and our Patreon champions. So y'all mark y'all calendars, all your phones or whatever you do. And also remember tonight, TSC Unleashed, baby, Unleashed. We're going to be talking about the playoffs, NBA playoffs, and you know how I go. So we're going to do that. We're going to cover that. Y'all be safe. I'll see y'all later. Who that to you? Peace, and I'm out.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking indeed. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Payton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with